Friday, it's 9 p.m. here in the UK, and that can mean only one. It's time for this week's edition of the International Radio Network's KB1 Multimode Net. This is Golf Mike Zero. Uniform Bravo, Graham here, Alloa Central Scotland, along with Mike 7, Hotel Quebec Sierra, Helen, Queen of Scotland, who's observing proceedings from the Royal Box. Folks, before we get going proper, let's go and find out, is there any emergency or priority traffic? If so, please call now. Very good, nothing heard. Well, folks, this net does meet every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. UK time, presently 2000 UTC. And there are, of course, many ways and many modes that you can use to access this net. And for details of the IRN multimode system, please check out our website at allthews.irn.radio. That's irn.radio. We are, of course, permanently connected to the Extended Freedom Network. Find out more by visiting allthews.extendedfreedom.network. That's extendedfreedom.network. And we do have our permanent connection on Zello there between TeamSpeak and Zello with our ZMR people as well. I should always mention that. Find out more by going to allthews.zmr.us. That's zmr.us. And at this point, I want to say thank you to everyone else who's connected up their various networks, nodes, repeaters, gateways, whatever. We really do appreciate that. Without you guys doing so, we just couldn't have the same kind of company and blether and catch-up that we so much enjoy every single Friday. So you know who you are, everybody, and thank you so much. I'll just take a wee pip. GM0 UUB continuing. Well, folks, be mindful of this fantastic multimode system with all these various analog and digital connections all coming in here, and try and do a little bit of social distancing in between transmissions, and maybe a 4 or 5 seconds gap in between transmissions would be absolutely fantastic. Also, be mindful of the 3-minute timeout. Now, I always say I want to hear all your and all your views, and no matter how long it takes. But if you think you're getting anywhere close to 3 minutes, just take a little bip or a pause. Both work equally well, and then pick it back up again and continue, or else you might lose the second part of your transmission. So there we go. Oh, we are also using NetLogger, folks. So we already had an AIM window check in there. So we've got John in there, WN4V. But John, of course, you're not on the podium. It has to be voice only for getting on the podium. Hi. We are using NetLogger. If you want to follow along in your NetLogger app, just select the net, IRN KB1 Multimode Net. And as if by magic, right before your eyes, you'll see all the people checking in being populated on the screen. And you can also make use of that wonderful, almost instant message blue chat box window there, and say hi to me and others. I'll try and keep an eye on that. Okay, I'll just take a I'll take a pip. Zero UUB net control continuing. It is, of course, the mission of the IRN to promote the amateur radio hobby to those interested in radio communication, and we give those with an interest the opportunity to gain experience in radio communications, theory, technology, and, of course, fellowship. This is a directed net, folks, and when checking in, please give me your call sign. That's slowly, phonetically, and twice. That's your call sign, slowly, phonetically, and twice. And we'll try and get you on the log the first time round without too many mistookies. So there we go, folks. Okay, well, it is Friday. This is GM0UUB, your net control. It is, of course, the IRN KB1 Multimode Net, and the Olympics are on and everything else. But every week, as you all know, folks, we've got a podium right here to fill every Friday. So let's go and find out who's on the podium. I do have WN4V. I do have John on the list, but not on the podium. So, John, we will come to you shortly. But who else wants to check in? Let's find out. Remember, call sign slowly, phonetically, twice. Please call now.
2 with Kilo Yankee Hotel. 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel. Declan in Newport, South Wales.
November Zulu Ida Victor. November Niner Zulu Ida Victor. Duh. Win.
Net Control, please check in. Kilo Bravo 1, Uniform Papa Zulu. That's Kilo Bravo 1, Uniform Papa Zulu. Bob in Springfield, Massachusetts.
0
Kilo
TMG
5,
mobile.
Romeo Lima Romeo, K5 RLR.
Mike 7
Echo
Lima
1,
Golf. Mike
Golf,
Mike
Foxtrot,
7
Lima.
Lima
2E1
Golf.
GFL stroke Marine Mobile.
This is Kilo 7, Lima Delta, Dave in Portland, Oregon. Just in and out because I still can't find you on IRLP, but take care.
Zero TMG mobile, short time.
Okay, folks, let me just hold it up there, and just let me go and see. Does NetLogger do maritime mobile? I'm not too sure. There's only one way to find out. No, it doesn't. Just as mobile. There we go. Okay. Right, from the bottom to the top, we have Mike 0, Tango, Mike Golf. That's Kev out there in Dundee. He's short time and mobile. Kev will come to you very shortly. We've got Dave out there in Portland, Oregon. KK7 HLD, just as an in and out. Good to hear you there, Dave, and your connection's good. So, yeah, anyway, if you fancy giving us another wee shout and a wee chat later, no problem at all. We've got 2E1 GFL. He's Maritime Mobile out there. That's our friend Dennis in Englandshire. Also in Englandshire, we've got our friend Thomas, M7 LGM. Thomas, you're on the list. K5 RLR. That's Randall in Spring, Texas. Randall, sir, you're on the list. We've got KB1 UPZ, that's Uncle Bob out there in Springfield, Massachusetts. You're on the list. And at the top of the list, on an AIM window, not on the podium, WN4V John. You're on the list. And then we come to the podium in third position today, folks. We do have Dwayne out there. Well done, Dwayne. November 9, Zulu, India. Victor, you're on there, sir. And, of course, at the top of the list, or the top of the podium, honestly, it was so close, guys. But Declan, you definitely do have it again, sir, but only just 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel. I heard it 2 only just before the Victor. So Victor Echo 6, Delta Charlie Victor. Dave in Calgary, Alberta, you're in second place, but on the podium and on the list. Okay, let's go to the mobile stations first, folks. And the first mobile station to check in was Dennis, and Dennis said 2E1 GFL. You said mobile. Are you also, or can I take Kev first? He's mobile and short time. How about that? 2E1 GFL. How are you, sir? Can you hang around for a few minutes, and we'll come round to you second?
Yes, certainly. 2E1 GFL standing by. You pick it back up, Graham.
Thank you, Dennis. Okay, we'll come round to you just after we go and speak to our friend Kev, who's mobile and short time perhaps out there walking Olive. I'm not too sure, but he can tell us all. Mike 0, Tango, Mike Golf from GM0, UUB. Kev, welcome, sir. Happy Friday, and how are you, sir? The mic is all yours.
Graham, all good. I'll keep it short as... So I decided, it's looking a bit dodgy, weather-wise. Good evening to all on the net. So I thought, I'll just go down to the park. I'll take the risk. Anyway, no sooner. It wasn't that bad, and I thought, and I got about 15 minutes walking around, and then it absolutely lashed down. So me and Olive resemble sponges that have been just dipped in a sink full of water and not wrung out. So we're absolutely soaked. So I'm just standing in the street on the radio, and just very quickly, and then I'm gonna hit home. GM0 UUB MM0 TMG mobile.
Okay, well, no, I do feel for you, sir, and yeah, I've been caught myself out there walking the dog and everything else, and it looks okay, but it can turn, just a couple of minutes, a few minutes, and 15 minutes away from home, and you find yourself in some kind of torrential downpour, so goodness me. Anyway, well, of course, if you don't mind, give Olive a wee soggy Scottish squeeze, a soggy squeeze from Alloa. It'll be kind of a soggy, kind of squelchy squeeze, condition just now, but yeah, please do, sir, from myself and Helen. That would be fantastic. And thanks so much for taking the time to stop by. You get yourself home there, Kev, and get yourself warmed up. Well, not so much warmed up, and the temperature's okay, but certainly get yourself nice and dry. Goodness me. So yeah, you might want to do some dripping outside before you actually go inside. I'm not too sure. But anyway, Kev, thank you so much for being there. And you and Olive have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon. We'll hopefully give you a wee shout in your coast-to-coast net that happens tomorrow at the same time, at the same place. Goodness, yeah, 2000 UTC, 9 p.m. UK, and you can find Kev there doing the coast-to-coast net across here on Extended Freedom Network and International Radio Network and DV Scotland. Good stuff. Okay, Kev, you take care, sir. Take care and get yourself home, and we'll talk to you again soon, perhaps tomorrow. And with that, we'll say 73 to Mike 0, Tango Mike Golf. This is GM0 UUB. Graham, your net control. And next up, folks, is the other mobile station who's also maritime mobile. That is, of course, 2 Echo 1 Golf Foxtrot Lima. Sir, how are you and where are you maritime mobiling? I'm not too sure, but you can tell us. Dennis, the mic is yours.
To Echo 1 Golf Fox Lima returning. Well, I'll just tell you about the critters at first. They're not my own critters, but we've got 3 or 4 swans that's come round the boat looking for something to eat. They're sticking their heads over the side, wanting feeding. So Mary Doll is she's finding them something to eat. On the River Ouse at the moment, we've been down here for just over a week. And we've had great weather. Unfortunately, yesterday morning, what's Friday today? Yesterday morning, we were supposed to have thunderstorms, but we didn't actually get the thunder. But we had some good storms from 5 o'clock in the morning up till about 8, and then the sun got back out. I'm obviously coming in through my phone, through MX0 XFN. I tried to beat Declan, but as you know, with Echolink, there has to be a gap, so it took us as long as it did to actually get in. I'll just take a pip. That's us at the moment. We're back home again tomorrow. Get the washing done, check the mail, cut the lawns, etc. So I'll be at home for Sunday night for the net on Sunday. So back round to you, net control, and pass my regards on to the boss, Helen. Back round to you, net control from 2E1 GFL.
Thank you so much, Dennis. And hey, listen, that sounds like absolutely amazing. It's great stuff. And yeah, even the storms you can put up with. You can always get yourself under cover for a wee while. But no, it sounds wonderful out there in the River Ouse. And so good stuff. And I don't think that's a river I've actually Goose, I'm not too sure. Dennis, just before you go, can you just help me with, I could look up on Google Maps, but that would just be kind of lazy. We're on the radio. We like to use microphones and talk to each other. Can you remind me, where does the river Ouse, where does it run to and where does it run from, if you know what I mean, sir? Just so I can kind of get it in my head. I've maybe driven past it at some point. I'm not too sure. Anyway, back to you, sir, from GM0 UUB.
Well, there's two or three. There's the River Nid runs into it. It's actually, I think it's called the Ower, up in Yorkshire. This upriver you can get up as far as Ripon. The last 2 miles are through a canal, and it ends up at Hull into the North Sea. It flows into the North Sea at the Humber Estuary. So it is a big river. Where we moored at the moment, the lock we moored at the moment, if you go through the lock downstream, it is then tidal. So they'll only let you through the lock if the tide's on the ebb, because if the tide's on the flow coming up the river that quick, you're running at full steam and practically nowhere. So hope that's helpful for you. And we have had seals this far upriver that's come up from the sea, and I believe the salmon are back in the river again now, so they are cleaning it up. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Back round to you, Graham, Net Control from KB1 GFL.
Very good, Dennis. No, that is extremely helpful. I can certainly have it in my kind of mind map there. That's no problem at all. And well, good to hear about the wildlife and everything else, and the seals. We've got a lot of seals that are on the various places around the coastline here in Scotland. That's for sure. And the dolphins and everything else, but no, not quite in the rivers. The dolphins don't go into the rivers, or at least they shouldn't do. Some have up in Inverness. They've come, they go into the Murray Firth, and they come pretty close to the mouth of the River Ness, and sometimes they have been seen very, very close to the harbour and stuff, and they getting kind of, just a wee bit too shallow, but then they disappear off again. I think they just come in for a wee nosy, see if they can get some fish from a boat or something. But anyway, there we go. Good stuff. Well, thank you so much, Dennis. And, well, of course, say hi to Mary from us as well. Even give her a wee Scottish hug from myself and Helen there, a wee Scottish squeeze. Doesn't go to any harm, that's for sure. So, thank you, Dennis, and take care out there on your travels, sir. And keep in touch and let us know how you're getting on. And look forward to speaking to you again, perhaps on Sunday, as you said. When we get the G6 GOA, although I'll be using GS5 GOA, get on your radio club call sign active for the evening. But anyway, that's a different story altogether. Thank you, Dennis. You take care. All the best. We'll say 73 in the meantime to 2E1 GFL, who's maritime mobiling out there in the River Ouse. And with that, okay, folks, let's go up to the top of the list. And we do have an AIM window check-in. So before we get to the podium, guys, please stand by. First of all, we're going to go and speak to John, who checked in some time ago on the AIM window. So I put him in there, and why not? WN4V from GM0. Friday, John, how are you, sir? And the microphone, my friend, it's all yours.
GM0 UUB at WN4V on Echolink. Good afternoon from South Florida, Graham. It's always great to hear you. Local time here is 4:19 in the afternoon. WX right now. We just finished a heavy-duty thunderstorm, lightning storm, and it's 26 degrees C, which is nothing spectacular. First, I would just like to say that I downloaded that and printed out that very, very nice certificate of appreciation for the Paris Olympics. Printed it on very heavy cardstock, and it's sitting on the wall in the ham corner or ham shack. Very, very nice. I really appreciate that, and I hope others avail themselves of that opportunity as well. Let's see, I have another tablet computer on order. It'll be here tomorrow, and that'll give me a total of 10 total computers. let's see, 1, 2, 3 Chromebooks, 2 laptops, and the rest are tablets. And I use them at the station and for other various and sundry purposes. There is a tropical storm down in the northern Caribbean right now, which should find its on the east coast of Florida, probably in our area around Tuesday. Tropical storm, force winds, but that's really no big deal here because we have tropical storm force winds during thunderstorms, so we'll get a lot of rain and we can use it. GM0 UUB, by the way, a good evening to Helen. MM7 HQS. GM0 UUB WN4V, South Florida.
Very good. Well, John, thank you so much for taking the time today. Really do appreciate that. And of course, last week, and so glad you do enjoy and they do like the QSL certificate there. And it's thanks to my neighbour just across the river here, just across the river Forth, G0WUR, who can also be known as GM0WUR. Excuse me, the hay fever. But yeah, our regional secondary locators, as in like the mic from the golf mic, is optional, and so there we go. So anyway, I just want to say thanks to Gareth there for setting that up, getting that link there, so people from last week's check-ins to the GB0 Olympic opening ceremony, special call sign, can get these certificates. They really are quite smart, so good stuff. So well, John, thank you so much, and all the best with the tropical storm heading your way maybe in the next few days. And as you say, you're more kind of used to them than we certainly are, that's for sure. But stay safe and stay well anyway. Yeah, so anyway, do you have anything else for us there, John, before we move on? Podium people next. WN4V. John, anything else for us, sir, from GM0 UUB?
GM0 UUB WN4V. I have a Bach concerto in the background. I hope it's not bleeding into this microphone, but it's one of my favorites. Anyway, I really have nothing else to add except to say again thanks for that very nice QSL certificate. And I'll be switching over to Peanut shortly from Echolink. And I'll be listening to the net for most of its duration. And again, good evening to you and your wife. GM0 UUB WN4V here in South Florida.
Well, thank you, John, and thanks for your good wishes as well. Very kind, and the same back to you and yours. Wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well, and hopefully we'll speak to you again very soon, John. So we'll say 73 to WN4V, and with that, folks, we're going to finally get to our podium, people. And so we go to the top of the podium for today, and we do have, well, he's kind of used to it up there, the top step. It's the kind young ham is Declan, also known as 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo Yankee Hotel. Declan, welcome, sir. Happy Friday, and the microphone, my friend, it's all yours.
Okay, from 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo Yankee Hotel. Well, okay. Thank you very much, Graham, and hello to yourself and to everyone else on the net. And first thing I will say is a hello out there to Dennis. That is 2E1GFL, who is Maritime Mobile. Interesting, and I hope you're enjoying that. In addition, I want to go ahead and put out, because I do believe that Helen MM7HQS will be in the Royal Box. And to that I say, to you there, Helen, and to Graham, we got 3 more sleeps until we're coming up. In case anyone listening does not know, myself and my parents, that is Golf Whiskey 8 Sierra Zulu Lima and Mike Whiskey 7 Foxtrot Delta India, the Hammerly, as we are nicknamed, are going up to meet Graham and Helen up in Alloa, as we're going on a little glamping holiday. So, really looking forward to that, and I am absolutely sure that it is going to be a lot of fun. I know that you've got a lot planned, and I am so ready, honestly. This week has been a bit quiet, but also alright as well. Went to Cardiff on Tuesday, and it was quite warm. Had to take a bus there and back because parking there is absolutely ridiculous. So that's what we did, and I think I was sweating a bit on the bus back, but I managed to cope, and it was a decent. Gonna quickly reset. Okay, from 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo Yankee Hotel returning. Yeah, it was a decent day. Had to go out for I think it was a face-to-face assessment for PIP, Personal Independence Payment. And not going to go into too much detail about that, but yeah, that was the reason went out into Cardiff on Tuesday. And yesterday, we went out to, well, firstly, we went to see some family in Swansea, well, Twitter, see my sisters and my brother, and give a birthday present to my niece who recently turned 7. A belated birthday present at that, but still better than nothing. And then Mum wanted to see a friend that she hadn't seen in years, who was still living in the same house that she'd been living in the last time she'd seen her, which was pretty sure before I was born. So, but it was absolutely lovely. Had a lovely bit of jokes and laughing. It was brilliant, I will say. We ended up leaving the house to go to, well, I will say Swansea. At about 12:30 in the afternoon, and we got back home at 11:30 at night. So, safe to say time got away from us, hi. But yeah, aside from that, not really much has gone on with us, and it's been a fairly quiet week, but those 2 things were worth mentioning, so I've mentioned them. So yeah, I'll go ahead and pass back to you, Graham. GM0 UUB from 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo Yankee Hotel.
Very good, Declan. Well, thanks so much for being there and being at the top of the podium. I'll tell you, honestly, you just squeaked it today. You really did. I don't think you actually got the full kind of 2 out. I think it was just basically a tip you got there just before I heard Victor echo. So, goodness me, that was a close one, sir. But no, you just managed to squeeze in there. So good to hear you on board. And well, thanks for the update and your visits to Cardiff and to Swansea this week. and glad everything went well. And off to Cardiff, of course, on the bus because of the parking. It's the same in very many cities, that's for sure. Trying to get parked and everything else, and also the cost of parking. Incredible. So yeah, if you've got a decent kind of public transport route there and back, it's usually quite a good option. Although I don't tend to use public transport too much. In fact, indeed, at all, unless the car's in the garage for some reason. Anyway, well, myself and Helen, we were on the road as well this week. We went up to Inverness to see my mother on Tuesday. On Tuesday it was. And we had a nice day in Inverness. We were just up for the day and came back down later in the afternoon. And we thought we'd take the scenic route back home. So we went up the A9, the main kind of artery road that goes up in the centre of Scotland here, and we thought we'd come back down. It's the same kind of mileage, but just a slower road, down by Loch Ness and Loch Lynich and all the rest. So go down to Fort Augustus, Fort William, Crean Larach, and Cross Glencoe. And anyway, we were about an hour into the journey, and there was an accident held up right in front of us. So quite a serious one. The air ambulance was waiting to be arriving and stuff. So the road was closed for several hours. So we had to about turn and go all the way back up to Inverness. This was at Invermorriston. So we had to go all the way back up to Inverness and then back down the A9 again. So what was going to be a kind of 3-hour journey ended up being kind of nearly 5 hours. But that was fine. It was Tuesday. The weather was really nice, and we were in no rush, that's for sure. So there we go. So we've been on our travels as well, just a little bit more than we expected. So, anyway, Declan, do you have anything else for us, sir? 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel from GM0 UUB. And looking forward to seeing you, like you say, in about 3 sleeps' time. Back to you, Declan.
Okay, from 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel. Well, I don't have anything else to add. I've already heard the story of the closed road causing a bit of a detour to correct back to the original route that was less scenic due to an incident, but still very interesting. And I do see the reasonings for wishing to share it with the net. Of course, absolutely perfectly valid, and of course, as you're the net control, you can say whatever you want within reason. Hi. Well, I do think that the why am I blanking now? Let me quickly reset a second. Let me see if I can get my train of thought back. From 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel returning. It's still lost in there. I guess we'll never know what I was going to say. Well, there is, well, if I forgot it, it's not that important, surely. Well, yeah, we'll see you, when we see you, which is very soon, of course. Looking forward to it. I know that you're looking forward to it, and so is Helen, and I know that, Sue and Dave, my mum and dad, they are both looking forward to that as well. So, I'll let you go ahead and continue with the net, and yeah, I hope you and everyone have a great weekend, and I might be on you next week, depending on what we do in Scotland. That's to be a mystery. Hi. GM0 UUB from 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel.
Very good, Declan. Well, hey, listen, sir, you're starting to lose your train of thought, and you're only 16. At least I've got an excuse, because I'm a little bit older. I think think I'm 32 plus VAT, and the VAT's quite high these days. So there we go. But good stuff there, Declan. It's always a pleasure, sir. Thanks so much for being there. And yeah, we're so much looking forward to seeing you guys. And you say we've got things planned. Actually, we don't. We've just got lots of ideas. So it's a case of just kind of playing it by ear, have a look at the weather, what we feel like, and what sort of time of day we fancy getting up and get going. So there's not going to be any kind of pressured kind of schedule there. It's just going to be a kind of relaxed time, but there's plenty of things to do, and we can just make it up as we go along. I think that's sometimes the best way. Anyway, Declan, we'll see you very soon, yourself and your parents there. I'm looking forward to it, and you have a great weekend. Stay safe and stay well, and we'll speak to you and see you very soon. We'll say 73 Kilo Yankee Hotel, and let's go and see what's happening with Dave. That's DJ Dave out there in Calgary, Alberta. Victor Echo 6 Delta Charlie Victor. Dave, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And the microphone, my friend, it's all yours.
Well, Victor Echo 6 Delta Charlie Victor returning. Good evening, Graham, and everyone on Graham and Helen. And, of course, good afternoon from Calgary. Beautiful sunny day, can't complain. Heather and I were out and about there for a bit of a walk. Had to grab a couple of things from the store there. As you know, we're heading off to the mountains for the day there on Monday, so looking forward to that. I think the weather's supposed to be even cooler, but which is fine. We've been riding quite a bit of a heat wave, so I think we're talking about 19 degrees C later on in the week, or 18. Like, it's going to feel cold, and then it's supposed to get up to at least 22. Still going to feel a little cooler than it has been, but that is for sure. Other than that, hanging out and enjoying as we usually do. We had to my scooter there was picked up there on Wednesdays, so we're working on some paperwork for that, and hopefully get one there soon. There's a lot of options in terms of funding and what have you, so we'll see what happens with that. But hoping to get one. May take a bit of time. That thing certainly was a lifesaver for sure, especially when you got sore joints or whatever there. That is for sure. Anyways, I'll pass it back to Controll, and over to you there. The E6 Delta Charlie Victor.
Well, thank you so much, Dave, for being there, and thanks for all you do for the International Radio Network as one of our moderators, looking after some new members coming in, getting them trusted in our channels, etc., etc. And, of course, also doing that fantastic net on a Monday on our system that is not connected to RF, so our members are licensed and non-licensed can attend to that net as well. And but I know we are taking a little bit of a summer break, just 1 week off this coming Monday, so good stuff. But Dave, well, thank you so much for being there. And yeah, you know, the scooter, I'll tell you, I bet you miss it. I bet you're missing it just now, because I know you had it, was it a month, 4 or 5 weeks there on a trial basis, and I know you had a lot of fun. Not just fun, but just practical. It must have made such a difference, as you say, when you get some sore joints and just need that little bit of extra assistance to get around. So yeah, it's just kind of lets you have a little bit more independence, and you know, you can do that and go a wee bit beyond what you might manage otherwise to do. So well, I hope you get everything squared away there and get yourself another scooter quite soon, because I know how good stuff. Anyway, Dave, we'll pass it back to you for one more time, if you don't mind. Victor Echo 6 Delta Charlie Victor from GM0 UUB. Graham here, Net Control for Ident.
Net Control, yeah, 1 week off, that's right. There is no friendship net this Monday. Victor Echo 6 Delta Charlie Victor returning. But I'm heading off to the radio club, see what kind of trouble I can get into tomorrow. And yep, end of the month here, so I gotta have an appointment with the occupational therapist or whatever, and those who want to leg work for me, so to speak, and do all the paperwork and well, what have you. So that's one step for sure. So, and what else? Oh, gosh. Other than that, yeah. Weekend-wise, it's somewhat busy, but that's all right. Won't have it any other way. Anyways, I can't believe here we are, August already, folks. I mean, really, I was going to say the season's changing, but not really. But still feels like summer. It is still technically. I noticed the days they get, a little bit shorter. I mean, nothing too noticeable yet, but it's coming. Boy, I tell you, folks, time just flies. I mean, really, it does. I feel we were just here at this point this time last year, and we certainly were. Anyways, everyone have a great weekend. We shall catch up again. Of course, I'm on my handheld, my little portable, where, why not? I'm feeling extra, I should say lazy, but you know what? It's nice to have that ability. Back to net.
Very good, Dave. Listen, you're sounding great. Whatever you're using, absolutely great. Your audio is very strong and clear, no dropouts, nothing there, no interference whatsoever. So I know you're sounding great there, Dave. So good stuff. Keep up the good work, sir. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. And man, I'll tell you, you talk about, we say across here the nights are drawing in. And, here in Scotland, we're just after 20 minutes to 10. We're about 18 minutes to 10 p.m. and looking out the window, and it's getting dark. And just a few short weeks ago, and very short weeks ago, it was still very much daylight at this time. So it really does. When the turn starts, it's very significant. So, but that's it, just this time, just before 10 p.m., and it's pretty dark. I know we're quite overcast just now, so it's going to be kind of more dull than normal, but no, it's definitely dark. So, oh man, it used to be up to midnight just a few short weeks ago, so never mind, no problem at all. Anyway, Dave, thanks so much for being there, sir. Have a wonderful weekend, and of course, give Heather there a fantastic Scottish squeeze, if you don't mind, from myself and Helen. That would be so much appreciative. And we'll talk to you again soon, sir. So take care, and we'll say 73 to Victor Echo 6 Delta Charlie Victor. And we're still on the podium. We're going to the third step on the podium. And there we have a bronze medal for our friend Dwayne. I think, Dwayne, this is your first time on the podium, sir. November 9, Zulu, India, Victor, N9, ZIV. This is GM0 UUB. Dwayne, welcome, sir. Congratulations on the podium. And how are you, sir? Happy Friday. The mic is yours.
Yes, Graham. Greetings. Hopefully this transmission finds everybody that is listening right now in good health and in good spirits. If not, drink some spirits. Aye. Anyway, unless you're young and you're driving, do not drink spirits. It's such a pleasure to be here with you, Graham. You do such a wonderful job at NCS. Thanks to the boss with the applesauce, Miss Helen, who will crack the whip on you if you do not behave. Hallelujah. And get your chores done on time. Midday wee pip. Yes. It's always a pleasure. This is LD or Dwayne from located in Vermillion County, Illinois. Vice president of the club here in Vermillion County. I was the historian back in the day. You can look us up at VARAVC, isn't Charlie, ARA, Victor, Charlie, Romeo, yeah, whatever. And look at the history that I started, and ended up read the after the building of the clubhouse, actually, at the end of the clubhouse there, I was getting on a pip. I was going to continue the blog with pictures of all the individuals that helped build the A-frame, which you can look at W9MJL, Many Jolly Lads, on QRZ, and after you have done that, take a look at 11CATS 11cats.org. I believe it is .org. Miss Jeanette will, the Texas Yellow Rose, will explain more, I'm sure, if she's listening and available. But anyway, I am on 11 Cats channel 2 right now, and yeah, I just kind of waited for the rush to get over with. There's always a rush at the beginning, which is great, I love it. And Daglan usually is the one who gets in there. Oh, Super Dave's son. The timekeeper. Then Big Ben, I don't know how close he is to Big Ben. But anyway. I believe I've talked enough. Come visit me tomorrow on 11 Cats at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, 2-1, 4-3-2-1, and 12 Alaska time, high noon Alaska time. Anyway, God bless everyone, and go in peace, and serve the good Lord. And I'll be back to you there, Mr. Graham.
N9ZIV from GM0UUB. Well, Dwayne, thank you so much, sir, for coming on once again. It's always a pleasure to hear from you, sir. And hey, listen, we learn more about each other all the time, for sure. So lots of information shared there, and I think you said your nephew was the vice president of the local club there, and you were doing some kind of history. You were the historian there and got some stuff up there, maybe online. Please check that out. I think you said VCARA, Victor Charlie Alpha, Romeo Alpha. Looking at that up as well. But of course, there is more information on the QRZ page for W9, Mike Juliet Lima, W9 MJL, and of course you mentioned the 11 Cats website, and we're very familiar with that, that's for sure. 11 Cats, that's 11cats.org, and thanks to Jeanette out there, the Texas Kisser, for putting that all together. And and also it supports this net as well, so really do appreciate that from you guys. And of course, Dwayne, you mentioned your own net you'll be doing tomorrow. So again, folks, if you're listening, check out all the w's.11cats.org. You get all the details there, and you can catch up with Dwayne on his net tomorrow. So all the details on the website there. Dwayne, thank you so much, sir. I'll say 73 just now. We've got quite a few to get through, and I can see we've been here for not far off an hour. We're still in the for the amateur radio community, and I'll do my best to catch up with you on your net tomorrow if I possibly can. I might be busy, but if I'm not, I'll definitely be there, sir. So you take care, and Helen did give a special wave to you later in the net last week. I don't know if you heard, but she says hi, Dwayne, and everything else, so good stuff. You got a special mention there, Dwayne, goodness. Anyway, you deserve it, sir. Thank you, sir, and take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and well, and we'll hopefully talk to you over the weekend. We'll say all the best in 73 to N9ZIV. And with that, let's step off the podium and on to further down the list, and that is where we find Uncle Bob, all the way from Springfield, Massachusetts, also known as KB1 UPZ. Uncle Bob, welcome, sir. Happy Friday, and the mic is all yours.
KB1 UPZ returning. Good evening, Graham. And good evening, Helen. I know you're there in the background. Good evening to everybody else here on the net. We're doing pretty good today, Graham, except for the rain. It looks like midnight out here right now, and it's raining a whole lot. That's all right, too. It's just going to make it more miserable and more humid out. Temperature it's about 91 degrees, and it's raining, making it really even worse, humid out and stuff like that. We're going to have an early supper. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, it is close to 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here. So we're going to be sitting down very shortly to have some dinner. And I still got some company from the state of Maine. My sons came down for a 2-week visit, spend some time with his brother and my wife and I and stuff like that. Barbara's doing pretty good, Graham. And went to the doctor's yesterday, and she got a real good report on her blood pressure and everything else, so she's happy about that. So we're kind of celebrating. She's doing pretty good, and that makes her happy, and it makes me happy. Other than that, we're doing okay, Graham. Back over to Net Control. This is KB1 UPZ. All the best to everybody.
Thanks so much, Uncle Bob. Really do appreciate that, and all the information there, and the family around, and everything else. And of course, Auntie Barbara, visit to the doctor, getting a good positive report, blood pressure, everything else pretty good, and everything else. So good stuff. Well, that's fantastic. Well, Uncle Bob, if you don't mind, sir, not just for Auntie Barbara, a wee Scottish squeeze for Auntie Barbara, of course, a wee extra Scottish squeeze for her good doctor's report there from myself and Helen. And while you're at it, if you've got your family there and everything else, why don't you just give them all a wee Scottish squeeze from Graham and Helen? That'd be fantastic. Anyway, Uncle Bob, thanks so much. And as I said before, the nights certainly are drawing in, as Dave mentioned earlier. It's quite incredible when it's not even 10 p.m. here in the UK, and it's so dark outside the window there. I've still got the window wide open. It's quite humid here. It's not very hot. We're only sitting around about 15, 16 degrees centigrade, but it's still quite humid. So the windows are wide open, and but it's dark. There we go. Anyway, Uncle Bob, you take care, sir. Sounds like you're having a fantastic time. Auntie Barbara, Everybody's doing well. We're all pleased to hear. And you've got your family around you. So just have a wonderful weekend, sir. And no doubt we'll keep in touch and everything else. So thanks for all you do. And we'll say 73 to KB1 UPZ. That's Uncle Bob out there in Springfield, Massachusetts. And with that, let's carry on down the list. And I have to say thanks for your patience, guys. It's been here. Kilo 5, Romeo, Lima, Romeo. That's our friend Randall out there in Spring, Texas. Randall, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And the microphone, my friend, it's all yours.
Well, good evening there, Graham, and Brother Scott out there, and Queen Helen, and everybody else on the net this evening. K5, RLR. Not a whole lot going on here, Graham, just relaxing for the weekend. Gonna go to my daughter's play here in a couple hours. She's in a theater play. It's a little summer camp, if you will. And hopefully she'll like it. She seemed to like it well so far, and who knows? Maybe it'll turn into something real good for her. Not a whole lot going on other than that, so I will go ahead and pass it back to you. GM0UUB from K5 RLR.
K5 RLR. Well, Randall, thank you so much for checking in. I have to say, sir, first of all, straight off the bat, you are sounding an awful lot better than you were last week. Now, we know last week, I think you did say you tested positive for COVID and everything else, and obviously there was things going on with the house, and I think a foundation inspection. Was that going to happen today or something? So, yeah, you had a lot on your plate there, sir. And you just weren't sounding quite yourself, but you're sounding much better today. So I presume you're feeling better. Has the COVID gone away? You've got now testing negative, and you're absolutely fine, and everything else. So first of all, Randall, how are you? How's the health, and have you recovered from that altogether? And also I think you did mention structural inspection or something. You mentioned last week. So there we go. Just keeping the nosiness going here. K5 RLR from GM0UUB.
GM0UUB from K5 RLR. Yes, first and foremost, I am feeling much better. I started testing negative, which is obviously a good thing, starting that Sunday that I spoke with you, a couple days later. And just to be certain, I took another one the following day, and sure enough, it's cleared. It took a few days for me to start feeling normal again, but, I definitely do feel better. And yes, we did have the inspection stuff done today. Unfortunately, it's just the same kind of mumbo-jumbo, if you will, just as insurance. Come around, ask a few questions, take a few pictures, and we'll get a report sometime within the next week or so. And hopefully insurance will get on their game a lot better, because they sent us a large check rather, to start out, even though it's not going to cover everything, at least yet, it's just to get the process started. Well, because it's over a certain amount, it's got to be made out to not only my wife and I, but to the mortgage company. Well, these geniuses decided to put the wrong mortgage company on it. So that's going to be another process to get straightened out. But in the end, we'll get it done. It's just unfortunately going to take a little longer than we'd like. But, yeah, everything's good for the most part here. Bunnies are running around right now. That's about it. GM0UUB from K5 RLR.
Very good, Randall. Well, thanks for all that. I know it's time-consuming and everything. nothing else, but at least you know the script. Things are going forward, so that's the only way to go. It's going to be a bit frustrating, I'm sure, and a little bit of upheaval for the bunnies and the other animals there too, the other critters you have there. So, but I'm sure you'll get there, sir, and it'll be all worth it the day. But so much, so glad that you are definitely feeling better and testing negative.
Welcome to the Mobile Radio Club Drive Time Net.
Back to normal. That's
my call sign is
so
W3UP. My name is
and what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, just again being nosy. So do you know what the play is? Is it a kind of famous play, or is it kind of your daughter's playing in? Is it a famous kind of play, or is it kind of more kind of a locally written one that we'd never know who the characters are and all the rest? So, but it sounds really exciting, and I hope she has a great time, and I hope you enjoy being there as well. So, Randall, just with that, is it a Shakespearean play, or something a little bit more different, maybe a little bit more joyful, perhaps? I'm not too sure. K5RLR, can I throw it back to you for anything else, sir, before we move on? Back to you, Randall.
GM0UUB, K5RLI returning. Yeah, Graham, I'm not sure if you guys heard of it. Maybe you have. Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, I think is the play. It's some sort of religious kind of play. But, yeah. She had her first showing last night, and then she'll have a show tonight. She'll have, ironically, 2 shows tomorrow, one in the mid-morning to early afternoon, and then one in the evening, and then finally on Sunday evening. Yeah, they really put these kids through the ringer, but hey, it's all for good fun. And like we both said, hopefully she will enjoy it. But that's about it from here. And I want to send a special shout out to KY4NB. He was very kind enough to send me a couple of smoke detectors the other day on this net that we both frequent in the morning time, the Morning Brew on the East Coast Reflector. They had a question about, I believe it was smoke detectors and stuff, so he sent me some of those, and then the next day or day after, something like that, there was a question about hot sauce and how hot you like your tacos. And he was nice enough to send me some really hot, very hot, but delicious hot sauce. I got that today. I sent him a video. I took a picture of me eating some of it. Boy, it was spicy. I'll go ahead and throw it back to you, Graham. 73s, GM0UUB from K5.
Very good, Randall. Well, we haven't heard from Scott, KY4NB today, and I see he was online. I think he's now offline, but sometimes he comes and goes. But now we normally do hear from Scott and Robbie Ray there, so absolutely fantastic. And it's always good to share smoke detectors, that's for sure. We had a new law came into force in Scotland just last year that every single household had to have, and they specified, depending on number of bedrooms and layouts and everything else, a certain number of smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detector, and they had to be all interlinked. They couldn't just be kind of independent. They had to be interlinked. So by law, every property in Scotland should have an interlinked system in place. And and if you don't and something happens, then the insurance company could say your insurance is null and void because you didn't have what's meant to be there stipulated by law. So anyway, I think that just came into force last year. I think the insurance companies are saying they're going to give people maybe a 2 or 3 year grace if there's anything happens. But anyway, I think we're all squared away. So good stuff. Thank you for that. And Joseph and his something coat, and it kind of rings a bell. Hi. No, absolutely fantastic. No, it's brilliant. The music in is fantastic. The story, of course, is wonderful, and no, I'm sure it'll be absolutely amazing. So look forward to hearing from you maybe next week there, Randall. See how your daughter got on and everything else, and you can give you can give us a wee report, like one of those kind of professional kind of cultural reports out there. You can tell us how did the play go. Randall, thank you, sir. And of course, give the bunnies, the other critters, and everything else around you a wee Scottish squeeze from myself and Helen. And we'll say 73 to K5 RLR. Thanks, Randall. Take care, sir. And I'm glad things are on the up with you, that's for sure. And with that, let's go and find out what's happening with Thomas. Thomas, thank you for your patience, sir. Assuming you're still there. Mike 7, Lima Golf, Mike from GM0, UUB. Thomas, happy Friday. The mic is yours.
M7LGM. Yeah, I'm still here. I was just going through my arrows and fixing up the fletchings and the knocks and things. Because we've got a competition on Sunday for archery. So there's no prizes or anything, but it's a fun little competition of archery, sort of shooting the woods with various 3D animals. I was just going for my arrows and fixing the fletchings and the knocks and just sorting through them and putting the bent ones or the other ones out of the way. I've just been recently messing around with the All-Star node. I've been managed to add favourites to Supermon. You can't do it through Supermon, so you've got to go for SSH or something else to be able to add some favourites. I've just been doing that. I've enabled DTMF so I can shut down the node using the radio. I've been also keeping an eye on the temperature for the nodes because it's been a bit warm the last few days. I think the highest I got to maybe is 56 degrees. So a bit warm, but I think it's still well within the temperature range before it starts throttling or whatever. Back to you from M7LGM.
This is John, KQ4, SDE, Atlanta, Georgia.
Very good, Thomas. And John out there in Atlanta, Georgia. Far too quick for me, sir. Didn't get the call sign. I'll be going for another round of check-ins very, very soon, just within the next few minutes. So please stand by, sir, out there in Georgia. We'll get you checked in. I'll be going for another round of check-ins very shortly. This is a directed net, and I'll be shouting out for another round very, very soon. This is GM0 UUB Net Control, going back to Thomas, M7LGM. Well, Thomas, thank you. Thank you so much for being there. And, man, I'll tell you, you keep your amateur radio journey quite... you're kind of progressing at quite a rate there, sir. You've kind of learned all different kinds of things, and you got your DMR radio all set up, and now All-Star as well. I really do like All-Star. Although I do use digital, I've used the DMR quite a lot, a bit more often just now than I have done for a while. I do enjoy using that as well, but always kind of defaults back to All-Star like I'm on just now. So is it the All-Star node you're using right now there, Thomas? You can let me know. And the archery on Sunday, well, good luck with the competition. And I don't know if you've been watching any of the Olympics, but there's been, I think, some of the finals of the archery competitions on the Olympics have been going on the last couple of days. That's been really interesting to watch. It's well, I'll tell you, it's not quite the kind of arrows, bow and arrows that I'm kind of used to. They're very, very kind of complicated machines that they've got there for the archery in the Olympics. That's for sure. All the different weights and balances and targets and everything. Goodness, anyway, but I don't think that's probably the kind of archery you'll be doing on Sunday. You just never know. Maybe it is. Anyway, M7LGM. Thomas, first of all, are you using All-Star just now? If not, how are you coming in? And good luck with your archery on Sunday. So back to you, Thomas, from GM0 UUB.
7LGM. Yes, I'm using the All-Star node at the moment. Yeah, I've managed to put a few favourites in it. I've managed to put two of the extended Freedom networks in it. I think two of them or something. Like I think one of them sort of a backup or something. So yeah, I managed to easily sort of go on favourites and switch to that quite easily. The bows you're probably seeing on the Olympics, I think, are compound bows, and they've got various sort of pulleys and things to, they're a bit more accurate and things. Our club, we've got some woods or something that we lease or something. We've got various sort of animals. I think they've got crocodile now, so that'd be interesting. I think our club sort of don't take things as seriously. I think they said that a couple of the other clubs nearby, I think we rang them when I was getting started, and they're saying like there's a 6-week wait, and you got to go on this training course, and we don't do it until 6 weeks, and and then we rung this archery place, and they said just come along, and they sort of take things less seriously, and a bit more fun and everything. I've just been messing around so that things are how I like it on All-Star and everything. Back to you from M7LGM.
Oh, very good, Thomas. Well, do enjoy. It does look like an awful lot of fun. I've never tried that kind of, the kind of technical kind of archery there. It honestly does look an awful lot of fun. So please feel free to, come back and tell us all about it again. And from time to time, I do remind the page. I don't know, Thomas, are you part of our International Radio Network Facebook page? I'm not too sure. Or indeed maybe the Extended Freedom Network, but we do encourage people when they're doing activities and things like that is of interest. We'd love to see any pictures you've got, or if you're out there on your motorcycle or whatever, we'd love to see some pictures of that as well. So I do ask people from time to time, just a wee reminder out there, just stick up some pictures of what you're doing. And we've got some recent of people going on their camping trips and different things. So it's always great, always really interesting to see that. So anyway, Thomas, well, thank you so much. You're doing a great job, sir, and you're learning awful quick indeed. I might have to turn to you to get some advice on some of the setup and everything else at some point, because you're doing a great job there. But anyway, Thomas, we'll say 73 just now. Have a wonderful weekend. All the best, and for the archery competition Sunday, do let us know how you get on. Even if you can't put up some pictures, do let us know exactly how you get on. That'd be fantastic. And just stay safe and stay well, sir. And have a wonderful weekend. We'll say 73 to M7LGM. Thanks again, Thomas. And with that, let's have a look at the list. We did have KK7HLD. Dave, he was just a kind of in and out, but hey, listen, we've been here for an hour, so before I go for another round of check-ins, let me just check if Dave has any comments for us. KK7HLD from GM0UUB. If you're there, Dave, please go ahead. Okay, nothing heard. Well, this is Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo. Graham here, your net control for this week's edition of the International Radio Network's KB1 Multimode Net. This Friday, it's the 2nd, it's August, goodness me, and it's 2024. We're looking for some more check-ins. Now, I do have no check-ins, so Scott, you don't have to give a wee shout. I've got you at the top of the list there, sir. We do have Kilo Yankee 4, November Bravo, already on the list. But let's see who else is out there. Let's get another list up here, folks. Please give me your call sign slowly, phonetically, and twice. Call now.
Kilo Charlie 9, Yankee Delta Zero Bravo
KC9
Victoria
LRB.
Whiskey. Yankee
Your friend
Delta
Mike
Zero
in Indianapolis.
Bravo Victoria Whiskey from
Victor Alpha 3, Quebec,
November
Bravo,
9,
Romeo.
Kilo Golf
Victor
Charlie.
Alpha
That's
3,
N9,
Quebec,
KGC,
Bravo,
Ray,
Romeo.
India.
Entry from Toronto.
Okay, folks, I'm going to have to hold it up there. Just have to hold it up there because, honestly, I haven't got a full call sign apart from, and I'll just put it in just now, we do have N9KGC. Okay. Right, Ray, I've got you there, sir. So I'm going to go from, well, I do have Scott on the list. So the Kilo Charlie 9 station that checked in right at the beginning, can you come back, sir, with your full call because you are competing with somebody from Indonesia, so we'll have to get the two calls. But the KC9 station first. Can you come back once again with your call, nice and phonetically and nice and twice? There we go, sir. Back to you.
Hey, this is Kilo Charlie 9 Lima Romeo Bravo KC9 LRB. Your friend Mike in Indianapolis.
Very good, Mike. Okay, I've got you there, sir. And the station from Indonesia, can you come back with your call? The station from Indonesia, who was doubling with KC9 LRB. The station from Indonesia, please, your call sign again, phonetically and twice.
Roger that, Graham. Yeah, this is Yankee Delta Zero Bravo Victoria Whiskey. I repeat, this is Delta Zero Bravo Victoria Whiskey from Jakarta, Indonesia. Copy?
Very good, Rifki. Net Control recognizes YD0BVW, the man who looks after all the neighborhood cats, and Rifki, a very kind man. Good to see you there, Rifki, with you shortly. Okay, there was a Victor Alpha 3 Quebec station, and you were then cut off by our friend Ray, N9KGC. So the Victor Alpha 3 Quebec station, can you come back with your call? Again, twice, please.
Victor Alpha 3, Quebec, Bravo, Romeo. DA3, Quebec, Bravo, Romeo. Dimitri from Toronto.
Very good. I think that's Dimitri out there in Ontario. Victor Alpha 3, Quebec, Bravo, Romeo. We've got you on the list, sir. We do have N9KGC, who is the only one I recognise. Goodness me. But I did call it short, so I'll let you know who I do have on the list. We do have KY4NB. Scott, you're on the list. KC9 LRB. Mike, you're on the list. Rifki, YD0BVW, you're on the list. Dimitri, VA3, Quebec, Bravo, Romeo, you're on the list. N9KGC. Ray, you're on the list. Was there anyone else trying to check in on this particular round? I did call it short because I couldn't get any of these call signs. So anyone else trying to check in on this round, please give me a call sign phonetically and twice.
Control, this is Kilo Charlie 7 Yankee Foxtrot Echo. Kilo Charlie 7 Yankee Foxtrot Echo. Didn't try the last round, but I thought it'd come in now.
Okay, I believe that was a bit of a collision from Oregon there, and we do have Dale, Kilo Charlie 7 Yankee Foxtrot Echo, and I think I heard Rock and Roy's voice there. KI7 PKL, was that you, Roy?
It wasn't, but you know it might as well have been. KI7 PKL.
Very good. Well, we do have KI7PKL and KC7YFE added to the list. Okay, guys, well, thanks so much. Anyone else trying to check in this particular round, apologies if I didn't pick you up, but we'll go for another round afterwards. Let's go to the top of this list, and there we find our friend Scott, all the way from Memphis, Tennessee, the land of Elvis and barbecues. Kilo Yankee 4, November Bravo. This is GM0UUB Unit Control. Scott, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And the mic is all yours.
GM0UUB and M7HQS KY4NB from Elvis Barbecue Land. Well, hi, Graham. I'm mobile on the way home, and so anyway, I shouldn't play radio in the car, I guess, but I'm almost home. And we'll just get in later, maybe when I get home, and Robbie Ray will want to say hi to everybody, I'm sure, later. But thanks for calling me in, and hi to Brother Randall there in Texas, and I'm glad he survived that hot sauce. And the smoke detectors were appropriate, too, if the heat gets too hot from that sauce there, Brother Randall. But we'll just come back in later, Graham, and when I get home, and we can get Robbie Ray talking. We hope the Queen's doing well, and I'll turn it back over to the net to let you get running on this long list, and good to hear the station from Indonesia in there and everybody else. KY4NB, back to net.
KY4NB Mobile. Well, Scott, thank you so much for being there, sir. And yes, please do let us know when you're indoors and everything else. We'll try and remember to give you a wee shout, but sometimes a wee hi. And well, I'm on the AIM window. You can always let me know on the AIM window and NetLogger when you're back home, and settle down with the microphone in front of you and a wee cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a glass of beer or whatever it might be, and you can let me know, and I'll keep an eye on there. So talk to you later there, Scott. Drive safe, and we'll talk to you when you're back home. We'll say 73 for the meantime, the KY4NB. And with that, we're going to go and speak to Mike, all the way from Indianapolis, and that is, of course, Kilo Charlie 9, Lima Romeo Bravo. Mike, welcome, sir, and happy Friday, and the microphone, sir, it's all yours.
UUB, this is KC9LRB, your friend Mike in Indianapolis, a rather hot and humid Indianapolis. And it's always a pleasure to be with you and Queen Helen, and I certainly hope she is doing well. It's indeed a very happy Friday, because even though I was off work on Monday, it just seemed to be one of those weeks that dragged on and on and on. And had the chance to ride my new e-bike that I got. Now, I try to ride it about half the time with no motors to build muscle back in my legs that I lost due to some injuries earlier this year. And I did 20 miles, and I realized that 20 miles is a lot harder on my body than it used to be. But hopefully that soreness, it is dissipating, and hopefully it's turning into strength. So, and I hope that you've had a terrific week, and I'll send it back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for being there and for checking in, and for sharing and your kind comments. Really do appreciate that. We are fine, that's for sure. Well, fine business on being hot and humid. You're probably hotter than us, but we are also very humid as well. I've got the windows wide open here, and just getting some fresh air coming through the house. But no, it's been not too bad at all. A little bit of rain from time to time. Can't complain. But anyway, the e-bike. Well, I have to say, sir, I used to be a very, very kind of regular cyclist back in the day. Just a few years ago in my 20s, and I used to be able to, when I was at university in Stirling, go back up and visit my mum up in Inverness, my parents up in Inverness. 150 miles. I'd do that in the day, no trouble at all. I'd have my breakfast and get back up there for time in the evening, and yeah, did that a few times with all the pannier bags, and did a few tours and things as well. But I have to say, these days, as I'm kind of in my late 50s, what am I now? 58, I think I am. Yeah, 58. And well, more recently, I have been on the e-bikes. That's for sure. Absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. And of course, over here in the UK, they're restricted to pedal assist only, so you have to be pedaling. There's no throttles or anything else, although there are some illegal bikes out there, that's for sure. And 250 watts maximum power and up to 15.5 miles per hour. So that's it, the pedal assist only. But I really do like the e-bike. It gets me out there and lets me get out and about and enjoy the countryside here in Scotland. Without all the kind of sweat and tears, hi. Anyway, back to you, sir, and congratulations on the e-bike. Honestly, they're absolutely wonderful. KC9 LRB from GM0 UUB.
Well, I'm certainly finding it to be a useful purchase. Of course, we are allowed to have throttles here in the United States. I guess that would depend on your jurisdiction. But here in Indianapolis, they have other things they need to worry about forcing other than that. But I also have a motorcycle, so I haven't really used the throttle much, and it only takes you to 20 miles an hour. My motorcycle takes me a little faster than that. So, but aside from that, I had mentioned last week about a net that I was, I ran the net, but I'm met up with a group of guys, and we had been exploring digital radio. Specifically, we've been tying things into the QRM network, which is a DMR-type network. And we have a net on QRM 17, 1717, I'm sorry, and we have an Echolink node to that. That is 274677, and we'll set an all-star at 616491. So I had promised an update. We're lacking on members, but if anyone out there has an interest in digital radio with linking projects, please feel free to join us. You too, Graham.
Very good, Mike. Well, I have taken note of that. That's Echolink 274677. Echolink 274677. Just repeating it for people to write it down. And, of course, an all-star link there as well, and 616491. 616491. So those are the connections, and all it leaves is let us know when it happens. Can you give us a wee reminder of the day and the time there, Mike? And we'll try and be there. Also, you know me, I'm always doing a wee bit of a kind of nosy, and I just reminded myself from your QRZ page there that you're a terrible guitar player. But, I don't know, it might be you haven't updated your QRZ page for years and years and years, and now you're out there on the stage and doing lead guitar and all the rest. I'm not too sure. You can let us know how your guitaring is going on. Only mentioning that because I've replaced my strings on my guitar, which I haven't done for a long, long time. So there we go. Just did that today. Anyway, KC9 LRB. Yes, the day and the time for those links to be active on the net. Back to you, Mike.
GM0 UUB and LRB. Well, that's a good idea if I told everybody about the time and date of the net so they didn't have to check their crystal balls. Well, the net is on Sunday nights, and that's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that would be 8 p.m. Central Time here in the United States. But we have even a gentleman from China who's been checking in the net, and he checked exactly at 9 a.m. His time in the morning. So, again, Sunday evenings, 9 p.m. East, 8 p.m. Central. As to my QRZ page, I have updated it recently, and I'm still a horrible guitar player. We know with my e-bike and my motorcycle, and of course my radio taking up my evenings, I regretfully have not picked up the guitar in about 2 weeks, which is becoming problematic if I ever want to be more than a terrible guitar player. So with that, I will pass it back to you.
Well, thanks so much, Mike. And, well, as far as the guitar is concerned, when you said I haven't picked it up for, I don't know, almost 2, I thought you were going to say years, and then you said weeks. So I don't think you're probably as terrible as you really, you're making out there. So anyway, do enjoy, sir. Do enjoy. I've not been picking up my guitar for, honestly, it really has been far, far too long. So I've been quite neglectful ever since COVID, really, and I've had no gigs, nothing really to practice for or anything else. I've just kind of really neglected it. But anyway, it does have fresh strings on today, so hopefully that will inspire me to pick it up over the weekend. But anyway, Mike, thanks for that. It's Sunday, and it's 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which means that it's Monday here in the UK. Your net, that is, Monday at 2 a.m., 2 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning, Sunday late night. So, hey, listen, stranger things have happened, sir. You may hear my dulcet tones there. We'll just have to wait and see. You take care, sir. Thanks, and it's always a pleasure, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well. And we'll no doubt speak to you again very soon. So we'll say 73 in the meantime to KC9LRB. And with that, let's go and find out what's happened with Rifki and all his neighborhood cats. Yankee Delta 0 Bravo Victor Whiskey from GM0 UUB. Graham here, Net Control for ident. Rifki, welcome, sir. Happy Friday, and the microphone, my friend, it's all yours.
GM0 UUB. This is Yankee Delta 0 Bravo Victoria Whiskey. Yes, good to see you again, Graham. I don't know if it's afternoon time, maybe, and your location. So yeah, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone. Well, yeah, in Indonesia right now it's 4:32. It's 4:32 a.m. It's a.m. in the morning. Yeah, it's morning time, and the current weather is 25 degrees Celsius. Well, the weather is kind of bad because today we had a crazy rain, and crazy floating water everywhere. Yeah, we don't have rain for almost like 3 weeks, but yeah, yesterday we got the first rain after 3 weeks. And yeah, Graham, I'm so sorry because I missed so many net, like the Monday net and the Wednesday net, because, well, the net start on my late time. It's like 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. and sometimes it's really hard to catch the time. Is really late for me. Well, because today is Saturday, so I have spare time to join the net. Well, yeah, it's a Saturday morning here, 4 a.m. 33 on Saturday. Well, yeah, about radio. Well, yesterday I was testing like homemade antenna. Is a 2 meter and 70 centimeter antenna, something like that. It's just like a homemade antenna. Well, but it's pretty good quality compared to the stock antenna, compared to the dial antenna on the market. And then I'm still learning. This past week I was learning a lot about HF because I have zero experience about HF radio, and I'm kind of have a small interest about HF this past week. So I was learning about what is HF, and then because so many meter, right? Like 12 meter, 20 meter, 40 meter, and 80 meters. So many meter on the HF, and I don't know where to start because I have zero experience about HF before. Well, I don't know. Maybe I know because the HF is too expensive for me. The device is quite expensive, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in few months I will buy it and have a HF, but yeah, we'll see. And then, well, oh yeah, all the cat, all the kittens are safe. Yeah, I'm still doing the same, feeding the homeless cat, the stray cat. Well, actually, the population, the cat population in Indonesia, I mean, especially in my location, is getting grow. Like, so many population just this day, like, yeah, many more homeless cat came to my place, and then I don't know. I think I feed like 30 cats in a day. Today, I don't know. Yeah, between 20 or 30 cats, and then I still have the few kittens, like 12 kittens, something like that. Yeah,
KQ4
two of the homeless cats
KQ4
just born
SCE
baby
monitoring.
kitten. So yeah, so I was taking care of of their kittens. But anyway, Graham, I don't want to take the channel too long. Maybe you have still have a long list to do on the net. And well, actually, it's Saturday morning. I have sorry, in 1 hour I have to prepare because me and my motorbike club, I call it like club. We do a Saturday morning ride with motorcycle. And yeah, I love motorcycle. I always drive motorcycle everywhere because I cannot drive a car. That's a shame for me. But yeah, I cannot drive a car, so I always drive a motorcycle. I'm using like 600 cc motor, something like that. But anyway, I will pass the channel back to you, Graham. Thanks by the way for letting, and also for you for running the net. EM0 YD0 BBW.
Very good, Rifki. Well, thanks for all the information. Although, Rifki, I would just remind you of the 3-minute timeout. So, some people would have heard everything you said right through to when you're talking about the cats. I think they'd have got it's 4 a.m. in your place, and you've had some crazy rain. There's water flowing. And you've done, you're testing some homemade dual band antenna. I'd like to know a little bit more about that. Also learning about HF, of course, all the different bands, different conditions, different kind of, well, it just depends on, many people have their favourite bands to go to, that's for sure. But of course, with conditions being the way they are, some are working better than others. But, in a year, 2 years' time, it'll be quite different. So, there we go. But HF is a fantastic place to be. Right now, I don't have any HF capability, apart from a 10-meter and 12-meter handheld, actually, that I've got there. I've had a bit of fun with that the last couple of years, but anyway, that's a different story. Yeah, all my HF gear is still in storage. Goodness, I'm kind of missing doing Morse, doing the CW. And then, of course, you talked about your motorcycling. You could like to go out in the weekends with your Yamaha 600cc. So I'm just kind of repeating things there because, Rifki, you did time out, and some people wouldn't have quite heard the rest of your transmission. So there we go. But I know we do have a motorcyclist coming up in 2 spaces' time, N9KGC, Ray. He's a big motorcyclist as well, so I'm sure he's interested to hear. I'm sure his ears are pricked listening to your story about riding out in your Yamaha 600cc. But good stuff. Anyway, Rifki, I've got a quick question for you, sir, and that is, of course, about your testing your homemade dual band antenna. So, are you following a kind of a recipe, if you like? Are you following some kind of notes and kind of design there, or have you made it up? Have you kind of designed it by yourself? And it sounds like you're doing some good stuff there, and the results sound good. So anyway, Rifki, I'll throw it back to you, and just be mindful of that 3-minute timeout. Just take a wee pip, and then continue if you're going over that. That's for sure. YD0 BVW from GM0 UUB. Back to you, sir.
Roger. GM0 UUB, and this is Yankee Delta 0 Bravo Victoria Whiskey returning. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about the 3-minute timeout. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I mean, I forgot. Well, sorry, and by the way, I was receive your signal. It's quite robotic because I think my connection is not good. But yeah, I got this a few questions. Yeah, well, it's basically is my friend designed the antenna, and then I just help him. I just help him to made the antenna. But I mean, I'm still a newbie because yeah, I mean, I'm still new in I'm still new in amateur radio. I'm still new about radio, so I don't have I don't have many experience about that. But yeah, my friend designed the homemade antenna, and then I help him to finish the rest of the antenna. But it's only like I don't know what it's called in English. By the way, sorry, I'm still learning English, so sometimes few words I'm still hard to sing the word because I'm still learning English. Well, yeah, yeah, but it's only like regular antenna basically, but we can pull it into like 1 meter. It's like a stick, like a super stick, something like that. In Indonesia, we call it like super stick antenna. It's well, yeah, it's dual band. Yeah, true, it's dual band, but we focus it on amateur. We do have a local DMR repeater. Yeah, and by the way, I also love DMR. I always stayed on TG91 and then TG or talk group 510. 510 is Indonesia talk group, by the way. So we focus the antenna to get the local repeater receive very nicely because the repeater is quite far from my place. It's like 30 kilometers from my place. So yeah, we made the antenna basically for join the DMR local repeater. But anyway, Graham, I will pass it back to you again, and I don't want to taking the chat out too long. And it's really nice, by the way, to join the net today. It's really nice to hear from everyone. Back to you, Graham, GM0UUB, YD0BW.
Well, Rifki, thanks for all the information there, and thanks for everything. Honestly, it's absolutely wonderful to have you on there, sir. And you know what, I do kind of get a little bit embarrassed when people say, I'm just learning English, and and I haven't a clue how to speak any of your language whatsoever. So I feel very, maybe not so embarrassed, but more humbled, absolutely humbled. And I have to say, Rifki, your English is excellent. Absolutely excellent. And of course, if you can interpret and understand the Scottish accent, you're also doing very, very well there too, sir. So all the best with that. But no, your English is brilliant, sir. It really is. And but anyway, Rifki, thanks for being there, and thanks for also checking in on a regular basis to our other non-RF linked nets as well on the International Radio Network, and your support there. That's for sure. We are taking a holiday, just in case you're looking for us on Monday for the Friendship Net. We are taking a bit of a holiday, so there'll be no Friendship Net this Monday, but that will be returning the following week. And but the Coffee Net will be happening next week, and of course the Sunday Net does happen on Sunday. So there we go. Okay, Rifki, thank you so much, sir, for being there. You take care, and thanks for all the information there. And do enjoy your motorcycle out there in your Yamaha over the weekend. And yeah, and keep up the good work, sir. And we'll look forward to hearing about your HF exploits as the weeks and months go on, that's for sure. Rifki, it's always a pleasure. Take care. 73 to YD0BVW. And with that, let's go down to our friend, I think it's Dimitri. I hope I got the name right there, but it is, of course, Victor Alpha 3, Quebec, Bravo, Romeo, VA3, QBR from GM0, UUB. Go ahead, sir. Happy Friday.
GM0 UUB, just one sec, I'm mobile. Okay, and back here. Yeah, GM0 UUB, this is Victor Alpha 3, Quebec, Bravo, Romeo, mobile. Thank you so much for allowing me to check in. Very interesting to hear all conversations around the world, on the States and Jakarta, the radio as well, net control. So I'm actually kind of super excited here. I'm coming back from a local radio store, and I just got myself iPhone 7300. So I'm going to be starting my journey to HF world. The HD5RV mini antenna, the coax, power supply, and that lovely iPhone. And just can't wait to get my hands on it. It's the beginning of the long weekend, which actually goes into vacation for a week. So probably going to take it with me to the cottage from Ottawa. And yeah, it's super exciting. License in February this year. Loving all the action for repeater EHF, UHF. There's lots to learn, like the presentation from Indonesia about HF. But I think I have some fundamental knowledge, not to be too worried about already with like you said, long time listener, first time caller, and yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I can also saying that like the week is over, but it was super busy at work. Really crazy times. my place of work, and it's really nice to wind down and just do what you want to do. Hide in the shade. It's really hot here in Toronto area, in Ontario. We are in the middle, hopefully at the end of the heat wave. We are right now at 31 degrees Celsius with 100% humidity, which is something around like 90 Fahrenheit. So very sticky, very, very sticky situation there, literally. And it's going to go down like it's supposed to end just when I'm going to go into the cottage and relax near the riverside. But that's okay. I rather prefer low 20s than low 30s. Yeah, back to you at Control. This is BA3 UBR over to GM0 UUB.
VA3 QBR from GM0 UUB. Well, Dimitri, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by today and sharing that excitement. By the way, your signal's a little... I know you're mobile, and I apologise. I didn't pick up mobile. I'd have taken you first on the list if I knew you were mobile, so apologies. Missed that one. Yeah, your audio is just a little bit kind of on the fuzzy kind of side of things, and so it's difficult to copy. But copied most of it, no problem at all. Well, certainly did copy that you've I think, have you ordered it? You waiting for it, or have you got it already? But you've got a new radio there, the ICOM 7300, which is obviously a very, very popular a new radio out there that many, many people have. And yeah, a little bit jealous here. I'm still operating. Well, when I do have my HF up, I'm still operating with an HF radio, which is the ICOM 7400, which is obviously quite old now in comparative terms, but it's still a very, very sweet HF radio. I do like to use it. When it's on the bench, it's away in storage just now, but never mind. 100, I've looked at the reviews and everything else. It seems to be a fantastic radio. So you're going to have an awful lot of fun with that, my friend. You really are. So can you just let me know, do you have the radio, or is it on order, something you're waiting for? Like I say, your audio is just a little bit difficult to hear, to make out all the time, but it's there. So anyway, back to you, sir. VA3 QBR from GM0 UUB.
Oh, thanks so much, Graham. Yeah, it's a densely populated area where I park right now. Like bound here between all the high-rise buildings. So yeah, my apologies. But yeah, I'm gonna be probably talking a bit slower now. Anyways, yeah, not much to contribute. The radio is literally in my trunk. It's the boot of the car. I think that's how it's called Scotland. In your region. Yeah, it's in the car with me. It's in the box. It's still unopened. I'm going to be having friends coming over tonight who are not really ham radio guys, just regular folks who would not really understand what to do with it. So I'll have to wait until at least Saturday to unbox it and have a nice look at it. So and I will probably it's with me, and I'm going to be going to a cottage for a week. I'm going to be going to a countryside basically, and enjoying a week in the woods near the river side. So I'll take the antenna, G5 RV. That's what I've got, along with the ICOM, the power supply, and coax. And hopefully we'll be able to do something when I'm on vacation, and then bring it back home and do a proper install. Back to you, Graham. Great to hear you. DA3 UDR.
Very good, Dimitri. Well, thank you so much, sir. And I think you said up some high-rise buildings. Maybe that's causing the signal to be the way it is. But I did copy. You do have the radio. It's in its box. It's in the boot or in the trunk of your car. And there'll be some unboxing and some incredible excitement there. Oh, fantastic! Well, Dimitri, thanks for letting us share that excitement. It's always great to have a new toy, especially something like the ICOM 7300, just sitting there in the back of the car in its box, waiting to be unboxed, and they just explore all its capabilities as time goes on. So that's going to open up a world for you there, sir, and you're going to have so much fun with that. And please do keep in touch with us here on the KB1 Multimode Net, and let us know how you get on with that as time goes on, as the weeks and months go on. So absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you so much, sir, for letting us share that excitement. We all like unboxing new toys and new radios, and that's a great radio to be unboxing over the weekend. So take care, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. And 73 to Victor Alpha 3, Quebec, Bravo, Romeo. All the best, Dimitri. Take care. And with that, we're going down the list, and we're going to go and speak to our friend N9KGC. That's Ray out there in Evansville, Indiana. N9KGC, welcome, sir. Happy Friday, and what's going on, Ray? The mic is yours.
Thank you, Graham. GM0UUB, this is N9KGC. Well, I'm home. I got done a little while ago today, earlier today, quite a bit earlier actually, but it is Friday. And hey, when I first put the radio on, I heard, I don't know who it was on here, but I heard him talking about Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I saw that play on Broadway in New York a long time ago. It had to be like 30 years, maybe, I don't know. I was going to say 30 or 40 years ago. But then after that, I've seen that play at several other Broadway or out here in the Midwest, other companies doing that. So definitely seen Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat multiple times. And when I heard that, it got me thinking about all those plays we used to go to. That was when I lived in North Jersey. Anyway, other than that, not a whole lot happening. I don't know. I feel like I'm out of breath. I was outside and I had the radio with me, but I ran back inside before you called me. So I might sound like I'm out of breath. And I apologize for that. Everything else going pretty good. It's raining out here too. It's raining out. That's why I was running to get back inside. Let me give it back to you, Graham, from N9KGC.
Well, apologies, folks. I keyed up the mic, and this cough just hit me. I've got the windows wide open here, Ray, and because it's quite humid. But of course, the old hay fever and all the rest. I didn't feel that cough come on until I just pressed the PTT. So apologies. I tend to take a wee a wee pip when I'll have to go and do that. So goodness me, there we go. Anyway, N9KGC from GM0UUB Net Control. Ray, great to have you on board there, sir. And you don't sound out of breath whatsoever, so no problem at all. And yeah, it's well, we had somebody earlier. I don't know if you heard Rifki talking from Indonesia, YD0BVW, but he was talking about enjoying going out on his weekend rides on his bike. His present bike is a 600cc Yamaha. So there we go. And I did say to him, Ray's just about to come on, and he's a big motorcyclist as well. So I'm sure he'll be interested to hear that. So that was Rifki out there in Indonesia with his Yamaha, and good stuff. And so what else was I going to say to you there, Ray? Goodness me, sorry, the cough just put me off again. Anyway, no, you're sounding great there, Ray, and yeah, are you out there motorcycling this weekend? I'm not too sure, but only you can tell us. N9KGC. Ray, my friend, back to you.
Yes, I did hear the other gentleman talk about the Yamaha motorcycle. I did. I used to own a Yamaha. I had a Yamaha V-Star, like Victor V-Star 650, and a V-Star 1100, not at the same time. I actually sold the 650 in order to buy the 1100. So they were branded as V-Star, but that's like a division of Yamaha. That was a great bike, both of them. Yeah, I'm going to take one of the bikes out tomorrow or Sunday, as long as it doesn't rain again. There was a chance of rain tomorrow, but I think Sunday is going to be dry. So one of those days I'll get out, even if it's just around here. I will have one of the motorcycles out for sure. And one other quick comment. This is kind of interesting. Now, it's kind of business related, and I usually don't talk about it on the radio, but I'm going to mention this. Just yesterday, I turned back on international shipping on my website and on my eBay listings, not on the Amazon products yet, but I did it for the eBay listings and the ones on my own site. Because for a long time, we only shipped in the United States. I turned off all that international stuff because sometimes it was a bit of a bit of extra work. But anyway, turned it on yesterday, and today, like less than 24 hours later, we sold two parts going to Canada. So not that far. There's locations in Canada that are only about 500 miles from me here. And yet if you go to the West Coast from here, you're looking at like 2,000 miles. So Canada's not all that far. But I thought it was interesting. Within 24 hours, we had 2 sales out of the country. Not a lot. I know. It's only 2. For this little tiny operation, it was something to celebrate. In the past, we used to ship to Canada and Mexico quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, other than that, not a whole lot to say. I don't want to hold it up too long. I'm going to be getting ready to have supper here in a little bit. It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock my time here in southern Indiana. So I'll leave this on even while we're eating. I'm going to leave it on. I can hear it, and I'll be monitoring. I'll give it back to you, Graham, back to Net Control from N9KGC.
N9KGC from GM0UUB Net Control. Well, thank you so much, Ray, and well, glad to hear business is doing well, and you're opening up to more international again, and into Canada, and within a day you've got 2 sales, everything else. So yeah, well, hopefully things. I know you prefer to work from the workshop that's a little bit closer to home, i.e. home. just a few. I don't know how many steps it is between your workshop and the home itself, but I know you prefer to be there, and you certainly always sound an awful lot more kind of yourself when you're working there. So good stuff. Long may that continue, sir. Hope everything works out well there. Anyway, look, I've got my big nose on. I mean, we're only on the second round, and we've been here for 2 hours, so don't want to be here too long. But Ray, you know me, I cannot resist being a little bit nosy. So it's been some time now. You've been working back in your own workshop and everything else. So you're going to be continuing that for the rest of your days. That is business doing well, everything else, and do let me know because I'm kind of interested. I will ask you on the net. Hi. N9KGC, back to you from GM0 UUB.
Yes. Well, that's my plan. To continue doing it, I'll be 60. I'll be 60 on my next birthday. After the first of the year. So yeah, a couple more years. I mean, I guess I could try to retire completely before that, but I kind of think of myself as semi-retired now. I had to leave that last job, as you know, because I hate to say this, and I really don't mean to sound negative, but I didn't want to be at that other job anyway. And it just they contacted me because I knew that the one guy knew somebody that I knew, and can you believe I've already been contacted again by another place for a part-time driving job? They want a part-time CDL driver, kind of available on call, and I didn't I didn't accept that. But yeah, I hate to create stress for myself. And I drove those trucks over the years forever. I had my own trucks at one time. I got to tell you, the past 2 to 3 years, that is not what I wanted to do anymore. That's why that last job, I always might have sounded a little negative or a little stressed, and I apologize for that. This is much better here, much better working at the little machine shop here. I mean, it's a small operation, and especially now that my brother's gone, he's not with us anymore. It's just me. It's literally a one-person operation now. But I'm going to try to do it for the next couple of years and see. It's not a huge moneymaker. It's not a huge moneymaker. I know I could make, I could definitely be making more money if I had my own trucks or even one truck. If I had one truck again, but this is just a much more relaxed schedule and relaxed environment. Yeah, so far it's been going okay. It's going to be a year coming up here. The end of November. So a couple more months, and it will be a year that I left that other job. Back to you, Graham. And 9 kgs.
Very good, Ray. Well, you really can't put a price on just being content. Just being kind of happy and everything's doing fine and there's no stress. Content and no stress. That's a big thing. And since I retired, just over oh goodness me, it's 2.5 years since I retired, and I'm kind of beginning to understand, be content, and the lack of stress really does kind of enrich your life, and it's maybe doesn't always bring in the big bucks, but you don't need big bucks just to be content and stressless. So there we go. So good stuff. Anyway, Ray, there, and thanks for all you do, and of course thanks for your permanent connection to this multimode system on the International Radio Network with your ZMR 851.900 there. It's always sounding great, and we always like to hear people check in from there. So anyway, Ray, you take care, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well. I'll no doubt speak to you again very soon. We'll say 73 to N9KGC, and we have added KI5SSR onto the list. So we've got 3 people to go down, and then we'll go for more rounded check-ins. So anybody else out there, please stand by. First of all, we're going to go to our friend Dale out in Roseburg, Oregon, also known as Kilo Charlie 7 Yankee Foxtrot Echo. Dale, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And Dale, the mic is all yours. Go ahead, sir.
GM0 UUB Net Control. This is KC7YFE. Yeah, good to hear you guys in here. It's 90 degrees over here as we speak. I just checked the weather, did a double check on the weather, and we're sitting at a whopping 90 degrees. For the next 10 days, we're going to be sitting in the high 80s and low 90s. So yeah, so it's going to be jumping around probably 85 into 90 for the next 10 days. But we're having a reasonably good day today, just hanging out here, listening to the net a little bit. And I thought it wouldn't. It'd behoove me to not pick up the microphone and check in. And I really like you're using the word "we" in there. We'll take a pause for the reset there. Well, I've got something really good to share with everybody here. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed at home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy cried, "Wee, wee, wee," all the way to jail because he was drunk. So there you go, Graham. What'd you think of that one?
Oh, very good deal. Well, thanks for that. No, it did make me laugh. Goodness me. But no, it's always great to talk to you, sir. It really is. And I believe the next person checking in is, of course, KI7PKL. And listening to the Alaska Morning Net earlier, I do believe you were graced with his presence sometime over the last few days. So absolutely wonderful. I think it's maybe the first time he's visited you, but we'll find out. Goodness, but we deal. No, thanks for that, Dale. Really do appreciate that, and thanks for all you do for the amateur radio community. Goodness me, sir, you're always checking into nets, giving lots of support, lots of encouragement, as well as doing the nets that you do as well. So, Dale, always say it. You're just a real kind of a ham radio operator out there with lots of encouraging comments and lots of good things you do and things. And man, I'll tell you, you work hard. So thank you. It's always great to have you on board, that's for sure. KC7YFE from GM0UUB. Back to you, my friend.
All right. Well, thank you, Graham. I'm glad I could put a smile on yours and other people's faces. But anyway, we're not doing bad over here, sitting at, like I said, 90-degree weather. I just kicked on the old central AC here. I don't use it a lot because last time, or I think it was last year, it got pretty hot around mid to late August. I had to use it quite a bit, and then, well, yeah, the bill went sky high. So there you go. I'm trying to use it sparingly as I can. But Graham, thank you for an outstanding net. And I want to thank the other folks behind the scenes and the folks that are picking up that microphone and checking in, even those sitting back and listening. Those of you that are listening, don't be afraid of that microphone. It won't bite. So here's what I got to do before I send it back to Net Control. Get a little bit of that micro band borrowed from my friend Dick N7RHV, who I hear from on the Worldwide Friendship Net. So he kind of passes along a little bit of what they call it, sanitizing for the microphone. GM0UUB and the group KC7YFE handing it back to you and the IRN KBM Multimode Net for Friday, August 2nd, 2024.
Oh, thank you so much, Dale. And yeah, no, you had me in bits there. I was wondering what's Dale doing, but then okay, microphones, good, absolutely wonderful. Good stuff. Well, we did have people check in last week with COVID. Randall had COVID last week, but now he's testing negative. That's always a good thing. So make sure, folks, before you check in, go and sanitize your microphones, and that'll be a good thing. So good stuff. Dale, it's always a pleasure, sir. You take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well. And, keep up the good business there, sir. You do a fantastic job for the community. You really do. Always good to hear you. So we see you to our good friend, KC7YFE. And we'll go to another good friend. That's Rockin' Roy out there in Portland, Oregon. So we're going from Roseburg to Portland, just next door, KI7PKL from GM0UUB. Rockin' Roy, happy Friday, and good to talk to you once again, sir. Over to you.
Well, good afternoon, Graham, and everybody on the net. Hey there, Dale. Good to hear from you. And yeah, we were there. We met the third party chicken. And that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. Last Saturday we drove out to Estacada, which is about 20 or 30 miles from here, out in the country, and played the benefit for a children's hospital. It's a big charity here in the United States. Yeah, they raise a lot of money. Anyway, it was a benefit, so we didn't get paid. But man, what a nice afternoon just to be out in a very pleasant place out in the country playing the gig. And that was a good afternoon. All right, pause. And it's pretty decent weather here, but man, we still have wildfires, serious wildfires. I think all of North America is on fire, or is the whole world on fire? I don't know, but anyway, managed to have a pretty decent night on Wednesday. There wasn't very much smoke anyway, so I took the telescope out and did a little bit of imaging. Again, one of the objects that I did last summer, but just better for all sorts of reasons. So it needed to be redone, and so anyway, I redid it. Got about 4.5 hours of data on the Dumbbell Nebula this time, and hopefully here pretty soon. If we don't have smoke, it all depends on where the wind comes. Westerly wind that blows away the smoke. If we get any other kind, but sometimes the smoke will go up north, circle around, and come and hit us from the northwest. So, if we don't have smoke, I'd like to see some new objects. I want to do the Ring Nebula, which is going to be a special challenge, and also the Triangulum Galaxy. And those are kind of the next things on my list. We'll see. Depends a lot on the weather. Back to you, KS7PKL.
Very good, Roy. Well, hey, listen, that sounds awfully exciting. All the telescope activity there, the Dumbbell Nebula, I think you said you were working at over the last few days, and well, good stuff. Well, of course, I would always encourage you, and I know you don't need too much encouragement, but just to keep on posting up some of your images. I know you do put them up on your QRZ page from time to time. I always like to have people update pages. That's always good fun. So people out there, Rock and Roy's already got some fantastic images out there on his QRZ page, KI7PKL and QRZ.com. And look forward to some of the refreshments and new stuff you got there, Roy. So that'd be fantastic. So no, it's always great to hear. That's absolutely wonderful. And I'm kind of jealous. You're out there doing the charity gig for the Children's Hospital last weekend, out there with the band and everything else. I keep on moaning I've not done any kind of live gigs since before COVID, and I'm kind of missing it. I have to say, missing the motivation as well, there, Roy. When you've got something that you're is coming up and all the rest, it just get you kind of motivated to maybe learn something new and do something different and whatever else. So anyway, as you know, I've changed my guitar strings, so hopefully that's enough of an inspiration to do a little bit more kind of music over the weekend. And Roy, I have to say, the wildfires, of course, over here we don't have to worry about them too much, that's for sure. But I know across your neighbourhood it's a thing. So I know you're affected by the smoke and everything else, but is there any danger of the actual fires themselves getting anywhere close to your neighbourhood? KI7PKL from GM0UUB.
Yeah, the nice thing about so far this year, when the fire season is far from over, so anything can happen between now and then. But the fires have mostly been farther away from here. There's a large fire in southeastern, and it was actually two big fires that eventually merged into one. And then there's an even bigger fire in Northern California called the Park Fire, and that's the one where somebody pushed a burning vehicle down into a gully. And anyway, they're showing up in court. Yeah, it's going to go on for a while. But that fire, absolutely horrendous. It grew so rapidly it was described as exploding in size. So yeah, definitely some serious concern there. Although when it gets super dry, here in the city we have burn bans. No one should be charcoal barbecues or anything like that. But it'd be very easy for somebody to just start a fire and burn down the neighborhood. So, we all just have to do our part. Hey, we got the fire department nearby. We're in a lot better shape than someplace out in the woods. But still, we all have to be kind of careful. But yeah, I think we're relatively safe here in the metro area, which works for me. KI7 PKL.
Very good, Roy. Well, hey, listen, that's good news. That's good news. You're relatively safe with your proximity there, and the fire department not be too far away. But I think you made mention there of some kind of deliberate activity that's caused absolute chaos, and it's so annoying. It really is. And I don't know, Roy. As I'm getting older, when I was younger, I'm not saying I would make any excuses for any kind of deliberate acts of vandalism or fire starting or anything else, but I think it was into their shoes. Is that possible? I'm not too sure, but just trying to be a little bit more kind of understanding in the hope that we'd be able to help them to change their attitude. But now, as I'm getting older there, Roy, I think my temperament's kind of changing, and now a thug is a thug, and and somebody that breaks the law is just somebody that breaks the law. And I'm getting less forgiving as I'm getting older. So I don't know. Do you find the same? I'm not too sure. But anyway, I'm definitely getting less kind of sympathetic as I get older. My tolerance levels are getting a bit less, and especially for those people that go and do deliberate acts that affect the rest of people's lives. And I'm not going to say string them up, but you know what I mean. KI7PKL from GM0 UUB.
Well, Graham, I hate to admit it, but I guess I have to admit, I'm kind of getting to be the same way. People who start massive wildfires, or we have problems here in Portland with street racers. In fact, there's an illegal street racing event planned for here in Portland. The police have been in the media saying, this is illegal, we'll arrest you. But they're going to do it anyway, and they just take over, play a street. And, do all of these street racing things, and try not to run into anybody. Things like that. There's graffiti gangs that paint graffiti all over everything. And they closed the freeway that goes through this side of Portland over the weekend a couple weeks ago to clean all that up. First day it opened up, there was more graffiti. So, some people just don't care. And I'm not really sure what we do with those people. Back to you, KI7 PKL.
Oh, well, thank you, Roy. I feel a little bit better. I was kind of, as I'm getting more kind of older and grumpier, I was kind of feeling a bit guilty about that because, I'm coming from my kind of religious place of point of view and all the rest. Is kind of like, you need to be a bit more understanding. But having said that, no, if people are misbehaving in a particular way, then they need to kind of face it. So there we go. Anyway, Roy, that's taking a wee bit of a direction, a wee bit unusual, but some of the stuff in the news here in the UK as well is kind of getting me to kind of think in that lines as well over the last few days. So good stuff. Anyway, Roy, thank you so much for being there, sir. Really do appreciate that, and thanks for being there, for doing, of course, the Alaska Morning Net. Always enjoy speaking to Roy. He's the voice of Friday, and the voice of Saturday is coming up right after you there, Roy. So good stuff. And anyway, Roy, do you have anything else for us, sir, before we move on? And we'll move away from Grumpy Land. Anything else for us? KI7PKL from GM0UUB.
I'm with you, Graham. I feel a little guilty sometimes, or I'm just not sure how to process some of that. Got some homeless folks just on the other side of the fence in a vacant lot, and should I have them removed, or am I just being a jerk if I do that? I've been wrestling with that. And there's some differences of opinion around here, whether, what we should do about that, too. So, yeah, a lot of food for thought. Anyway, yes, indeed, the weekend is here, and I'm watching the Olympics, and I'm seeing all kinds of some of these sports. I'm going, what sport is that anyway? Yeah, interesting. If you watch this enough, you see a lot of pretty interesting, cool stuff. So, anyway, enjoying it while it lasts, and I haven't watched this much actual broadcast television in I don't know how long. Anyway, hope you have an awesome weekend. You and everybody else on the net. We'll talk to you down the log. This is KI7PKL.
Well, thanks again, Roy. And that example of the homeless and all the rest. That's exactly what I am as well. There's a conflict there in my own head. So. Must just be the age, I'm not too sure. But anyway, Roy, you take care, sir. Thank you so much for all you do, and thanks for being the voice of Friday on the Alaska Morning Net. And we'll say 73 to our very good friend Rock and Roy out there in Portland, Oregon, KI7PKL. And with that, we're going to go down to Grapevine, where we find Texas Kisser, who's the voice of Saturday on the Alaska Morning Net. It's Jeanette, also known as KI5SS. Right, welcome, my friend, and happy Friday. Jeanette, the mic is yours.
Hello to you, Graham, GM0UUB, KI5SSR, the Texas Kisser, right here in Grapevine, Texas. Anyway, Graham, we hit triple digits today. Today is the hottest day for summer for us. Can you believe it? We have, I think, 2 weeks of this, and then I think we're going to be back to cooler times. So that's really great, and I'm just wondering how you and Miss Helen, MM7 HQS, how are you doing, Miss Helen? I hope she's doing better, and I'm just wondering if y'all ever got any results. So, and how's everything going for you? Back to you, Graham.
Well, thank you so much, Jeanette, for being there, and thanks for asking. And actually, Helen did get a wee phone call from one of our nurses today and everything else. Basically, nothing's been too conclusive. It's kind of more monitoring over coming times and everything else and seeing what happens. But the good thing is, from the recent scans, nothing really bad was kind of seen. So that's a good thing. So there is good news, and we have to celebrate that, that's for sure. But the frustrating thing is they still don't know just what is exactly causing the symptoms. We just have to kind of wait and see. But at least the scan has shown that there's nothing there's no bad news there, Jeanette. So that's a good thing. So we have to celebrate that. And take all the celebrations when we can get them. So good stuff. And apart from that, we're doing fine. We've been up to Inverness and seen my mother this week. We came back down the scenic route in Scotland. Came across an accident, had to turn around, go back up to Inverness, and go back down the other way. So what was a 3-hour journey turned out to be a 5-hour journey, but lovely, and we enjoyed it all. So good stuff. Anyway, Jeanette, that's it. I'm waffling, so I'll pass it back to you. KI5 SSR from GM0 UUB.
Well, hey, thank you, Graham. And, no news is better than, bad news. And that is good news that they, are saying that they don't see anything bad. And I'll be praying that they figure it out soon, And, by the way, I wanted to make a correction. The AFC, which Dwayne was talking about earlier, which is the net that he helped create, that one is on Sunday, not Saturday. So it's Sunday at 4 Eastern time. So we do have the 11 Cats happy hour this evening on the 11 Cats network. So 11 Cats is the Echo link, and 11 Cats 2 is also an Echo link. So also our website's www.11cats.org, and there's a list of nets, including this net, the Happy Hour net, Saturday the TNT net, and both of those nets, by the way, are at 7 Eastern time. Then we have the Sunday AFC, Amateurs for Christ Radio, at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. All that information and pet health information is on the website, so it's good stuff to look at, too. And I do want to mention the XYL Ladies Net, which is on every Saturday. And speaking of Saturdays, I will be going to meet Gail and Hank tomorrow in Richardson, Texas, where I went to school at. So I won't be running the Alaska Morning Net tomorrow because I'm taking them out to lunch. So that will be Dave, KK7HLD, will be released. All right, KI5SSR, yes. And then, of course, there's the XYL Ladies Net, which is on every Saturday at 2 Eastern Time on the Aurora Channel, Republic of Avalon Radio. And also that's on Zello as well, TeamSpeak 3. More information, IRN Network. Licensed and unlicensed operators are welcome, but this is a ladies' net, so only ladies can check in. But sometimes she allows men to check in every now and then. More information can be found on the IRN network, or Graham will be happy to tell you more about it. And you can send Lillian, who is Lillian is the it is her net, and she's the host there. And her email is xylnetwork@gmail.com, since she loves letters from the lads. So any of you lads that listen and want to send her a email, she will read it to everybody online, so it's pretty cool. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Graham. Thank you for taking my check-in, and thank you and all the wonderful people for being here. KI5SSR, look forward to seeing y'all this evening at Happy Hour. Back to you, Graham.
Well, Jeanette, thank you once again for all the wonderful information you share with us on the net, that's for sure. And, of course, a wee reminder, folks, all the information is out there on Jeanette's website there. It's allthews.11cats.org. That's 11cats.org, 11 being 11. So go and check it out, folks, and lots of good information out there about critters and looking after your critters, as well as amateur radio stuff, including, supporting various nets and everything else. And thanks for supporting this net as well there, Jeanette. Really do appreciate that. And thanks for the correction that, of course, Dwayne's net is not a Saturday, it's a Sunday. But again, all the details are on 11cats.org. Well, thank you so much. And, have a wonderful time going to visit Gail and Hank there. So, Jeanette, all that's left for me to say is when you do go and visit Gail and Hank, go and give them a wee Scottish and Helen. You might surprise them with a wee Scottish squeeze when you turn up. From myself and Helen, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And do have a wonderful weekend. Really do appreciate you checking in there. So, anyway, do you have any final comments? I do have KY4NB as a recheck. Scott, we're with you shortly. KI5 SS, final comments from GM0UUB.
Well, thank you, GM0UUBKI5SSR, and I think I've taken it up enough of your time. And yes, I will give them a wee Scottish squeeze, and it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to take maybe a couple pictures and just enjoy our time together. So I'm really looking forward to it. And they're going to be at 35 minutes from here, so we're going to drive over there. And they're in a town that I grew up in, so that's funny because I went to school there, and that was the first place I lived when I came to Texas. Well, no, it's not. I lived in Dallas for a long time. Then we moved to Richardson to get away from all the craziness. So, but besides that, that's all I have, and I wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you for all that you do and all the awesome work you put into it. You really do a great job. With that, I'm going to send it back to GM0UUBKI5SSR, and I will say hello to Scott coming up after me, and hello Robbie Ray. Hope to see y'all tonight. Anyway, back to you.
Very good, Jeanette. Well, do enjoy your weekend, and it's always interesting when you go back to places where you used to go to school or go there and used to live and everything else, and it's always interesting. So have a wonderful weekend. It sounds like it's going to be a great time. So all the best to you, my friend, and we'll say 73 to KI5SSR. Okay, so this is Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo. Graham here, net control for the International Radio Network's KB1 Multimode Net. And we're looking for some more check-ins. We do have a recheck and off the list. So we do have KY4NB. Scott, I will come round to you very shortly. But we've been here for, goodness me, 2.5 hours, and this is only my third round of check-in. So people out there listening, thank you so much for your patience. So this is your time. If you want to check in, please give me your call sign. We do have Scott there. Scott will come to you. But anybody else want to check into the net today, please give me your call sign slowly, phonetically, and twice. Please call now.
This is
Victor Echo 6 Papa Lima Charlie.
Head to a
Victor Echo
Charlie
6 Papa Lima Charlie. Coffee Calgary.
XCX, who's Woody in Florida.
Whiskey 89 Nick in Fort Mo. U8NIN.
Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Delta Bravo. That's Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Delta Bravo.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Zulu Alpha. That's Kilo India 5, Whiskey Zulu Alpha.
November 0 Golf India Yankee. N0 GIY Quentin in Houston, Texas.
Okay, very good. Net Control recognises a fine bunch of amateur radio operators there. Thank you, everybody. Let's go in reverse order. We do have N0GIY. That's Quentin in Houston, Texas. You're on the list there, sir. Thank you. We've got Keith out there in New Mexico, KI5WZA. You're on the list. We've got Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Delta Bravo. That's our friend Doug in Kitchener, Ontario. You're on the list. We've got W8 9-inch nails. Mike is out there in Parma, Ohio. You're on the list. We've got our friend Woody, N5XCX. Woody, you're on the list all the way from Florida. We've got from Alberta. We've got Victor Echo 6, Papa Lima Charlie. That's our good friend Cliff in Calgary. Good to see you all, folks. And up at the top of the list, you've got a recheck from Kilo Yankee 4 November Bravo. So we're going to go and see what's happened with Scott. He was mobile. I think he's now back home, rested, got his feet up and everything else, and microphone in his hand. KY4NB, the land of Elvis and barbecues from GM0 UUB, haggis, sporrans, bagpipes, neeps and tatties. Over to you, Scott, from GM0 UUB.
GM0 UUB, MM7HQS, KY4NB with Robbie Ray. I'm going to let you talk to Robbie Ray, third party, while I turn the timer off here, Graham.
Hey, Graham, it's Robbie. I was going to turn the timer off. He's cooking something, red beans and rice, so anyway, the timer was going off. I just want to say hello, and I'm going to tell y'all that we're coming back home from something today, and I said, go by the dog park. There's a dog park near us, and I wanted to visit the dogs, so we went and visited some dogs that were at the dog park with their owners and had good conversations and everything, and there was one terrier that was digging in the dirt, and the woman couldn't get the dog out because she wasn't an alpha. She just wasn't. I don't know. I was the one that ended up getting the dog to come with her. So I didn't even know the dog. But anyway, that's all we've done today. You got something to say, Scott?
Did you get some results from your tests and all?
Oh yeah, I got a good report from my doctor. Pretty much on everything. I had gone to the cardiologist, so I got a good report on my heart valves and all that testing, so that was good to know. Although there's still, don't know why I'm so fatigued, but I probably ran out of time.
We're glad Helen's test results came back there, Graham, and we hope she continues to figure out what's going on, but no big news is good news, as Jeanette says, and hi to Jeanette there. And everybody else, we may be watching Olympics or something tonight, so I don't know if we'll make it into Jeanette's net or not. I'll have to see. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Graham. Good to hear everybody. And back over to you, and say hi to the Queen for us.
Love you.
Love y'all. KY4NB, back to net.
Well, thank you so much, Scott, and hi, Robbie Ray. Always great to hear from you guys. We love to hear you on the air here, that's for sure. And it sounds like you had a good day, and glad you go back home nice and safe and all settled in there. And Robbie Ray, good to hear you had some good doctor's reports there. Always good to have a good kind of test there and everything doing okay. Especially when it's to do with the ticker, the old heart there. So glad everything's doing okay. But as you say, there's maybe still some issues there with being fatigued and everything else there, Robbie Ray. It's kind of frustrating, but it's, with Helen here, obviously the results haven't shown up anything sinister, but it doesn't really answer the questions. Like yourself there, Robbie Ray, it doesn't quite answer the question about how come you're so fatigued at times. So, it's just it's a wee bit frustrating, a little bit of time consuming, just waiting and maybe some more kind of testing and stuff. But there we go. But as long as nothing's too sinister, as long as we get the A-OK, nothing too much to worry about, then we just get on with things. So that's absolutely wonderful. So good to hear that, Robbie Ray, that's for sure. And anyway, Scott, Robbie Ray, do you have anything else for us? KY4NB from GM0 UUB.
KY4NB and Robbie Ray returning. Well, the Elvis Death Day is on August 16th, and that's a Friday, and I don't know. I have a friend that goes down there, Connie and her husband. So I don't know if I can. If it's not too hot, we need to make a trip. Keep everybody posted on Elvis stuff, and I don't know what we're barbecuing, Graham. We did have some ribs the other day, but Robbie Ray didn't eat them, so I don't know.
I don't need any ribs.
No ribs, she says. So she's trying to eat healthy. We're eating lots of cereal, and we're having fun here. in Memphis, Tennessee, and thanks for taking our chicken, as Dale says there, and good to hear everybody this evening.
And it's so hot here, you could probably fry an egg on the sidewalk.
Here in Grapevine, where Jeanette was with triple digits, and in Phoenix, Arizona. Back to you, Graham, in the net. That was Robbie Ray, third party. 7-3's all. KY4NB. Back to net.
Well, thank you so much, Scott and Robbie Ray, and I really do appreciate you guys so much. And well, I would say it's kind of been quite hot, or at least warm over here, but nothing towards the temperatures you guys experience. But no, it's been pretty warm over here. Certainly very humid. Here we are, just not far off midnight, and I've got the windows wide open, trying to get some fresh air kind of coming through the house there. So good stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. And but don't fry your eggs on the sidewalk. Just use a pan like anybody else, because you don't want all that grit getting stuck in between your teeth. So anyways, just stick to the pans, folks. But anyway, guys, it's always a pleasure. Thank you. And we'll say 73 to KY4NB. That's Scott, with third-party traffic from Robbie Ray. Always so much appreciated. And with that, let's go and find out what's happening in Calgary, Alberta. That's Cliff out there, Victor Echo 6, Papa Lima Charlie. Cliff, how are you, sir? Happy Friday. And the microphone, my friend, it's all yours.
Thank you, Graham. And hello to everybody on the net from sunny Calgary. 29 degrees here. It's supposed to cool down some next week, and we're looking forward to that, maybe getting some rain too. Central Alberta, they had to evacuate all of Banff, or Jasper National Park, and also in particular the town side of Jasper inside the park. So 25,000 people had to be evacuated, and the fire did get into the town, and they're saying about 30% of the structures in the town have been burned to the ground. But most of the infrastructure they were able to save, so once they get things rebuilt, homes rebuilt, things will be better. But impacted commerce. One of the main east-west highways was closed going through there, so goods coming from the west coast from Asia were stopped for a good few days. And what else is going on? Oh, my big excitement this weekend is my great-granddaughter is coming to visit me, and we're going to go to Heritage Park tomorrow. And I'll show her some history, have some fun on some of the rides that are there. Heritage Park, as I've mentioned before, reflects southern Alberta at the turn of the 19th into the 20th centuries. And there's quite a good number of exhibits. So I'm hoping to have a good time there. It's going to be warm again, but we'll put on our sunscreen and some hats, and we should be okay. Back to you, Graham, from V6 PLC.
VE6 PLC, Cliff from GM0UUB, Graham here, net control for ident, haven't said it very well. Well, Cliff, thank you so much, and well, sunny, 29 degrees, everything else, goodness, you're doing well there. And again, sorry to hear about the fires and all the rest. I'm just hoping that the actual fires themselves don't kind of come anywhere close to your neighbourhood, that's for sure. But 25,000 people, I said, was evacuated there. That's something else going on there. So goodness. Anyway, Cliff, always a pleasure to talk to you, sir. And it sounds like you've got some wonderful things happening over the weekend, including going off to the park with your great-granddaughter, I think you said there, and doing some rides. So, Cliff, I'm going to have to ask you, sir, I'm going to have to ask you because I'm a big fearty. You know, I don't know. I like to be in control. I don't like to be trapped into any kind of wee cage and going into some kind of ride and all the rest. I'm just not very good with kind of, well, roller coaster. No siree. All the different bits and pieces. So, Cliff, so at the weekend there, Cliff, when you're out there with your great granddaughter and doing some rides, I think you said, is there any kind of death-defying rides you're going to do? Anything kind of sweaty palm moments or anything else? Just about anything be a sweaty palm moment for me. I'm a big fearty, I have to say. Anyway, VE6 PLC from GM0 UUB, tell us about the kind of rides you'll be doing with your great granddaughter over the weekend. And if it involves too many heights, just don't be too descriptive. Aye, aye.
E6 PLC returning. No, it's nothing like that. The part of the park that are rides and little subsection is an amusement park, and it's also period from the late 1800s, early 1900s. So there's some swings that get up fairly high, and there's swings on chains, and they whirl around, and you get. I guess that's probably the most thrilling. There's a bit of a carousel, not super big, and a few other things. I think that's a set of bumper cars, but yeah, nothing death-defying there. So this is only 8, so we won't be stretching things too much and trying to scare ourselves. We'll just be having fun, and then the rest of it will be just touring around and seeing the buildings and the history and. Maybe wander over and see some of the teepees that are set up there, the old Hudson's Bay Type Fort, and that sort of thing. Plus, downtown, there's shops and candy store and a bakery and ice cream shop and stuff like that. Plus a blacksmith shop and an old newspaper with printing press and all that sort of thing. So we'll have some fun on the and, like I say, learn some history and have some fun and maybe some treats along the way. And Noella's curled up in our chair. She's been there most of the day and taking it easy. So that's the Noella report. Back to you, Graham, from V6 PLC.
Oh, thank you so much, Cliff. And hey, listen, that sounds like a wonderful weekend out. It really does. I think even I could cope with that, as long as that swings on chains didn't go too high. But no, it sounds great. And bumper cars, dodgems, I can handle that. That's no problem. That's okay. Good stuff. Cliff, it sounds like you've got a great weekend ahead of you there, sir. And thanks for the Nuala report, because of course I would have asked. So thanks for that, and glad she's looking after your shared chair there, that's for sure. Cliff, it's always great to hear from you, sir. Thank you so much. And yours, your granddaughter, your great-granddaughter, have a wonderful weekend. I know you will, and tell us all about it next week, if you don't mind, sir. And we'll say 73 in the meantime to Victor Echo 6, Papa Lima Charlie. Thank you, Cliff. And let's go and see what's happening with Woody out there in Florida, N5XCX. Woody, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And the microphone, Woody, it's all yours. Yep, I'm still connected. November 5, X-ray, Charlie, X-ray, N5XCX. Woody, are you there, sir? And if so, it's your turn, sir. The microphone, it's all yours. Welcome. Okay, left a big long pause there because some of the various connections, like Echolink and various digital connections, can have quite a kind of delay. So just wanted to make sure we didn't miss them. So Woody, if you can hear us, we'll maybe give you a wee shout later, and or else just give us a wee shout when you're able to come back to your microphone. Yes, to Woody, if you can hear us, N5XCX. With that, let's go Mike out there in Parma, Ohio. It's W8, 9-inch nails, Whiskey 8, November, India, November, from GM0, UUB. Mike, welcome, sir. And, hey, listen, it feels like it's been a little bit of a time since we spoke. Anyway, Mike, happy Friday. The mic is yours.
Well, Graham and the rest of the group, this is Whiskey 8, 9-inch nails. Sorry to hear that Helen's still having some health issues, so I hope she gets well soon. But I started my morning in Phoenix, Arizona, got home to Cleveland this afternoon, and I head back to Arizona again on Monday. The project just will not die. Just little things here and there, but it's still consuming my time, regrettably. So I'm going to enjoy my time here in Cleveland while I've got it for the next 48 hours. But other than that, just lots of other little things going on. My son has joined the United States Marine Corps, and my daughter is looking at colleges, and I think she's kind of dialed one in, and we'll see how that goes. So got quite the full schedule here, and it's not going to change anytime soon. With that, back to Net Control, W8NIN.
W8NIN from GM0 UUB. Well, thank you, Mike. And yeah, well, it sounds like you're just such a busy man. Things going on there, just be yourself, and busy, and everything else. And of course, your family there. And it sounds like your son's joining the Marine Corps. I think you said there, and your daughter's looking at various options for further education and whatever. So yeah, lots of things happening there. So I assume that your son and daughter there, they're kind of turning to you. Maybe they're asking you certain questions and looking for some advice. And I'm sure you give them some very, very good advice. But there we go. Anyway, Mike, anything else for us, sir? W8NIN. Good to hear from you, sir. It really is. From GM0 UUB.
Well, Graham and the rest of the group, a funny thing occurred this morning. So on my trip this week, the CEO of my company was there, and it's kind of unusual, for a company of about 350 employees. They would just focus in on what I'm doing, but we want to get this project wrapped up, and so he wants to make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, so to speak. But the funny thing is, at the airport this morning, I'm a member of the American Airlines Admiral Club, where you pay, and basically it's a private area where people can relax prior to their flight. Both my boss and the CEO then showed up after I had gotten there, and he takes one glance at me and says, "You're fired," because this is kind of an expensive thing, and I kind of splurged on myself, and my retort was, "Well, it's not like I expensed it. What are you firing me for?" But yeah, that's how my morning started, and the day's just been spent up in the air. But with that, back to Net Control, W8NIN.
Okay, very good, Mike. Well, yeah, I assume that the "you're fired" was more kind of tongue-in-cheek and all the rest, but good stuff. Dear, so yeah, am I going to be nosy? Of course I am. So okay, Mike. So what kind of project are you working at there? You said your boss, the CEO, the rest, and I think the "you're fired" is kind of tongue-in-cheek and all the rest, but yeah, can you give us any details, or is that all kind of confidential? Please don't feel you have to share, sir. But I'm just being a little bit nosy this evening. W8NIN, 9-inch nails from GM0 UUB.
Graham and the rest of the group, my future is assured at this company. This was simply sarcasm at about 6 a.m. This morning in Arizona. So it's it was just one of them things where, you know, we're all buds, and it's just one of those things where, you know, he walks in and is like, what are you doing here? And how much of my money did you spend? You're fired. So no, I am not actually terminated. Everything is good. System in the Arizona area, there's a lot of warehouses going up in the Phoenix, Arizona area, and I've actually been on this project for the better part of 2.5 years. We're just trying to get the last little things taken care of, and then we're done. So, and then after that, hopefully I get a little bit of a break before the next one, but who knows? In this day and age, rest is just not one of those things you get in abundance. So, with that, back to Net Control, W8NIN.
Very good, Mike. Well, thanks for sharing, and well, all the best with the project there and everything else. And yeah, well, of course, while you're out there working and everything else, of course, some downtime and rest is not always too easy, that's for sure. But Mike, you have to remember, you can only work kind of efficiently when you do manage to take a little bit of downtime, a little bit of time to yourself and relax and everything else. And yeah, you'll be much more kind of efficient going forward. But it's not always easy when work's kind of so demanding. But do try your best there, sir. And thanks so much for checking in. We do appreciate that. Good to hear from you, sir. We'll say 73 to W8NIN. And with that, let's go down the list. And we have our friend Doug out there in Kitchener, Ontario. Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Delta Bravo. Good to see you there, Doug. How are you, sir? Happy Friday. And the microphone, it's all yours.
Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo from Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Delta Bravo. Good evening, Graham, and everyone else listening. Hope all is well. The weather here is warm and humid with some rain and thunder earlier today. Currently it's 25 degrees Celsius. It was about 30 earlier today. We're just home from a little short walk over to a local shop and just minutes ago. So the adventure continues at home, and I'll be off the air on HF for a while, I think. So, you know, probably a couple of months or maybe 3 months before everything gets sorted away. I found an interesting website called VBand, and it's a virtual CW website. So I've been playing around with it. It's free, and there's no software needed or anything. So it's fun. Right now, I'm just using the keyboard to send CW, but they sell a little interface. And actually, I ordered two, one for me and one for my friend in Brampton, and we'll give that a try. Yeah, I was very upset when I heard about the town of Jasper. That's my old stomping ground. When I was a kid, we used to go there for vacations, and when I was in university, I used to go there all the time for skiing. So it's sad to see all the damage there. And that's pretty much it for me. I'll be back on the Sunday Evening Net this week. So looking forward to that. I was off for a couple of weeks, and hope you and Helen are well, Graham. Back to you from VE3XBB.
Very good, Doug. Well, thanks for taking the time to stop by today, and glad to know that things are kind of moving forward with all the kind of restorative work that you need to have at home there. And it must be so inconvenient, that's for sure. And of course, your HF equipment's all down. But yeah, it's hopefully things will be restored and everything corrected very, very soon. And yeah, I was going to ask when you mentioned that website for operating some kind of CW, because I know you'll very much miss that. Was there any way in which you can kind of link up your keys, your various keys there, and get on even the bug? Can you connect the bug up there and continue that? I'm not too sure. You can tell us. But anyway, Doug, good to hear you there, sir. It really is. And and thanks. We look forward to having you back. Operators are very welcome to check in, that's for sure. Delta Bravo, back to you, sir. And can you connect up your to the software that you're talking about there, sir? Back to you.
What you do is one end you plug in your paddle, your bug, or your straight key, and the other end plugs into your computer, and it emulates the keystrokes that you make on the keyboard. So it only uses 2 keys on the keyboard, and actually I'm kind of grateful that I play the piano, because I think it helped me a little bit kind of play the keys in CW with this V-band. But now I'm looking forward to getting the interface, and I'll try it with both my paddle and my bug. I would like to get back on with the bug, but I'll see how that goes. It might be a little bit clumsy, but we'll give it a shot. Anyway, Graham, have a great weekend, and the best to you and to Helen. 73 from VE3XDB.
Well, thanks again, Doug, for checking in today, and all the best with that. And let me know how you get on with that. Sounds really interesting. So anyway, I'm sure you'll be very much looking forward to getting everything restored and getting back on the air proper on HF with your all the CW, which you love so much. So good stuff. Anyway, we'll say 73, and a big thanks to Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Delta Bravo. Thanks, Doug. You take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Stay well. And we'll talk to you again very soon. So with that, let's carry on down the list. And we go to Keith out there in Rio Rancho in New Mexico. It's KI5 Whiskey Zulu Alpha. KI5 WZA from GM0 UUB Net Control. Keith, welcome, sir, and happy Friday. The microphone, it's all yours.
KI5WZA. Well, good evening, Graham. Well, it's good to hear you popping again in there. Talked to you a few hours ago. And greetings to Queen Helen. Hope she's doing okay. Yeah, we're just kind of kicking back here this afternoon. Had a beautiful day. It's mostly sunny. It was 94 degrees Fahrenheit out here. And we're supposed to get some rain showers maybe within the next 5 or 6 hours. So we'll see if what that brings. We could always use the extra moisture out here because we live in the high desert at 5,740 feet above sea level. And so we're up a ways. And it's dry. We usually get about 20% humidity, not much more than that, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But no, we're all doing good out here, and I'd like to see if I can throw a twofer at you. I want to see if I can get my better half Shirley checked in here as well, if you want to go ahead and add her on the list. Kilo Juliet 5, Sierra Tango Papa, KJ5, STP. So we'll throw that in there. Shirley, you want to say hi real quick? Say hi. Just say hi. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Okay. Anyway, Graham, I don't have a whole lot going on here today, but I did want to jump in there and give you a shout out. 2 weeks in a row. How about that? That's doing pretty good for me there. So we'll get on out here and let you get some more check-ins before you wrap things up. So thanks for running the net tonight, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Take care. GM0UUB from KI5WZA. Have a good one there, Graham.
Oh, thank you so much, Keith, and always a pleasure to hear from you, sir. Really, really is, and thanks for checking in last week, and so glad you enjoyed the QSL certificate and everything else, and goodness me, just did a quick check on your QRZ page there, and yeah, I can see your handsome face there, that's for sure, but at the top right-hand corner, there's a picture of all these different mountains, and or hills and mountains. You did say you were at some kind of altitude, so I'm not. Is that the view from your front door? Hi, I'm just not too sure. But anyway, I didn't manage to read all the text. I'll read that later because I'm a wee bit nosy. But anyway, thank you for checking in, and also for your XYL there, checking in as well. I do have Kilo Juliet 5 Sierra. And then I didn't make the rest of it, so can you just give me the rest of the call sign as well, and we'll get your wonderful wife on the list as well there, Keith. But yeah, I love that picture on your QRZ.com page, right at the top right-hand corner. It's just a wonderful view of some magnificent mountain ranges. So there we go. Anyway, back to you, sir, and yeah, can you just give me the rest of the call sign so I can get it on the log? Back to you, Keith, from GM0UUB.
GM0UUB from KI5WZA. That view you see there is the view from my picture window here in my living room. That's exactly the view I have. That's the Sandia Crest right there. And we have a few repeaters and cell phone towers and television transmission towers up on top there. There's a whole bunch of them. I don't think you can see them from that picture because it's not exactly high resolution. Okay, so again is Kilo Juliet 5 Sierra Tango Papa STP KI5 STP. So, okay, very good, Graham. Sure appreciate it, and thanks for the compliments on my QRZ. And you noticed, you probably saw that I posted the Olympic opening ceremony QSL card on there too. So I thought I'd throw that in there. Anyway, take care. Talk to you again soon. Kilo India 5 Whiskey Zulu Alpha will be clear and standing by. And thanks for running the net. Take care.
Well, thank you so much, Keith. And yes, I did see that you posted up that QSL certificate there on your QRZ page. But honestly, I was thinking, no, he's going to say, no, that's a kind of picture from somewhere just a little bit away from me. But goodness me, if that's the view you get woken up to every single morning, sir, you're a very, very lucky man. You really are. That's so beautiful. It really is. And I would encourage anybody listening, go and check out QRZ.com and check out KI5WZA. The top right-hand corner, there we go. That's our friend Keith's view every morning. So absolutely wonderful. Honestly, Keith, beautiful, beautiful, absolutely wonderful. And we do have your XYL there. Shirley is in there. KJ5 Sierra Tango Papa. And good to hear you out there as well, Shirley. Really do appreciate that. It's always great to hear people, and especially if they're couples, because of course I'm a couple with MM7HQS, Helen, Queen of Scotland. So good stuff. Well, Shirley, Keith, thank you so much for being there. Really do appreciate that, and thanks for sharing wonderful pictures on QRZ.com. And we'll say 73 in the meantime to KI5WZA and KJ5STP. And with that, we're going to go to our final check-in that on this particular list. That's Houston, Texas. November 0, Golf India Yankee, N0, GIY from GM0UUB. Quentin, please, go ahead, sir.
and I'm not hearing myself. Let me see if I'm making it in. Hold on.
Kilo, Charlie, 1, Mike,
I was listening to a wonderful wedding picture that I was actually making
Okay, this is GM0UUB, Graham here, Net Control, and Quentin. I think that was you. I heard you saying maybe, I'm not sure if I'm making it in, but there was also another transmission happening kind of parallel to yourself and causing some considerable interference. So I'm not too sure if that came from your QT, coming from somewhere else. I'm really not too sure. But at the end of the day, we're looking for Quentin. N0GIY from GM0UUB. Quentin, please try again, sir. And welcome. And happy Friday. Quentin, the mic is yours.
N0GIY. Oh my goodness, it sounds so much better. I have no idea what happened on that last transmission, except it made me think that it was on my end, so that freaked me out. But yeah, I'm connected through, I've got a DB Mega, so I'm listening on Yesu C4FM. I'm monitoring myself over Ham Shack Hotline, and I'm checking in over All-Star. I also checked out Echolink. I'm new to the International Radio Network, by the way, if you didn't know. So this is N0GIY. And I made myself a gallon of cold brew. I buy 5 pounds of beans at a time from Independence Roasters here in Brenham, Texas. Well, I'm not in Brenham, but it's pretty nearby, maybe an hour away. And you need a steel burr coffee grinder. Don't use an herb grinder. That'll just whack your coffee into little pieces. So yeah, I grind it really coarsely, and I get like a 10 or a 12 to 1 ratio between coffee and water. Let it sit in the fridge for 12 hours. Oh, and then I froth some milk, and I have myself a nice latte in the morning. I'm getting thirsty just thinking about it. This is N0GIY.
This is Golf Mike 0 Uniform Bravo, Net Control. Well, I have to say, Quentin, your audio was absolutely fantastic, great. Then after you unkeyed, something else happened altogether, so I'm not too sure what happened there, but hopefully that's been taken care of, and assuming it has, thanks to those that have taken care of that. Anyway, Quentin, absolutely wonderful. Well, obviously you're a big kind of coffee guy. So absolutely wonderful, and I used to drink an awful lot of coffee back in the day when I was a student and even beyond, but as the years go on, I've kind of turned towards tea. I'm more of a tea drinker these days. I like my loose leaf tea and do some kind of diffusing and all the rest, and or infusing. So I do like my tea, but I like a coffee now and again as well. But it certainly seems that you're very serious in your coffee there, sir. So anyway, you can tell us a little bit more about your coffee. And I know you're not a brand new chicken, so I maybe have asked this question before. But Quentin, do you have any critters in Quentin's household? Dogs, antelopes, elephants, fish, budgies, whatever it might be, any kind of critters, whether they're welcome or unwelcome. You might have some unwelcome critters back in your yard. I'm not too sure. Anyway, Quentin, there you go. There's a wee question for you, sir. So it's coffee and critters. Back to you, N0GIY from GM0UUB.
N0GIY. Sorry, it was my FTM 100 Yaesu Wires X access point was transmitting, and that held open the squelch. So, wow. I guess that's the danger of having too many nodes and access points and stuff. Sometime I would like to cut it down, but it's so hard to not just buy all the radios. So yeah, I'm with my wife, Lady Mo. Her call sign is N0GIX. It is my N0GIY is my great-grandfather's silent key. N0GIX is my great-grandmother's silent key. And so my wife and I, we've been together for 10, going on 11 years next month. And we don't have any children, but we do have 2 cats, Hera and Hebe. And they act like little spoiled little human children, but they're cats. They're very adorable and very sweet. Well, to me. They're pretty mean to everyone else. But that's okay, because they're my babies. This is N0GIY, Quentin in Houston, and enjoying the International Radio Network. Sure glad to have the hobby. And I would have never known about it if it wasn't for my great-grandparents.
N0GIY from GM0UUB. Well, thank you so much, Quentin. And, well, I'm so glad you've got the hobby as well. You're here, and thank you to your grandparents there for setting you up for that one. Good stuff. And also, we do have your XYL there, and I do believe that's Maureen. So N0GIX. So I don't know, Quentin, is Maureen able to come to the microphone and just say hello? I've got her checked in and out for now on the log. But does Maureen want to come along and just say a quick hello? I'm not too sure. We'll pass it back to you just in case and just to find out. N0GIY and N0GII. N0UUB.
N0GIX. Waking up from a nap. What's going on?
Oh, that's fantastic. N0GIX from GM0UUB. Graham here, Net Control in Alloa, Central Scotland. Maureen, you just woken up from a nap. Well, your husband there, Quentin, he's checked into the IRN KB1 Multimode Net, and he's also added your call sign to the list. So that's where we give you a wee shout. So, Maureen, it's great to have you. Great to hear you on the net, that's for sure. We're here every single Friday. We have been since January 2020. And there you go. So, good to see you. And let me just have a wee look. And goodness me, Maureen, you are not a brand new check-in. So, yeah, Quentin, Maureen, both of you, you're not brand new check-ins, Maureen as well. So I've got you down here as a checker-inner before. So, goodness me, it must have been some time ago. I'll need to go and investigate. But anyway, who do I throw it back to? Hey, listen, I'm going to throw it back to Maureen. N0GIX from GM0UUB. Good to see you again there, Maureen. I know you've checked in before. So thank you. And how are you? And welcome to the world. I know you've just woken up from a nap. So, yeah, it's still, it's all good. It's August. Over to you, Maureen, from GM0UUB.
This is N0GIX. I'm slowly waking up. But, no, it was the last time Quentin and I checked into this net either, but I guess it must have been some time ago. I'm probably going to go cook dinner soon for Quentin and I, but it's great. It's great hearing you and I hope to cook a ground beef recipe that has bell pepper, onion, tomato in it. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's called a 5-layer casserole recipe.
Oh, now, Maureen, that sounds absolutely amazing, and it sounds like Quentin's getting a little bit of a spoiling there, that's for sure. Well, I'm having a wee look at NetLogger here, and I can see at least your first check-in here, and it wasn't, to this particular net, the first check-in you had was back in the 9th of June, 2023, so the 9th of June, 2023, and here we are, yeah, so it's over a year ago. Maureen, you did check in, 9th of June 2023. That was your first check-in. I don't know if you had any further ever since, but anyway, that's what NetLogger's telling me. So, well, thank you so much. And, hey, listen, Maureen, we'll see you again next year, somewhere around about June, July, August 2025. Look forward to seeing you. But, hey, Maureen, no, please, we are here every single Friday, so please feel free to check in anytime you like. Anyway, let me just throw it back to you guys. One more time from GM0 UUB.
Yeah, this is N0GIY. Thank you for your patience while I sorted out my cross interference over on my end. Sure glad I didn't get my my All-Star node banned. So yeah, I'm kind of glad they weren't too fast on the link control. But yeah, this is Quentin in Houston. We're going to have a good dinner. We're sure glad to have recovered from Hurricane Beryl. And Lady Mo and I and our 2 cats, we're going to enjoy our Friday evening in Texas. And we're looking forward to a ham fest in about 2 weeks. So yeah, all is well, and hopefully continues to be well. I enjoy your nets, and I hope to check in again. It is really fun hearing an accent that is not from Texas. N0GIY and
N0GIX.
Clear, back to net control. 7-3.
Well, honestly, guys, I have to say thank you once again for checking in today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and yeah, we've been here for, oh goodness me, 3 hours and 22 minutes, so I'm going to close the net. So you have been the tail gunners for today, but Maureen and Quentin, thank you so much for being there. Really do appreciate that, and honestly, all the information, everything shared there, it's so much of a pleasure. So thank you. But that does bring us down to the bottom of the list, and I do believe the bottom of the net. We've been here for 3 hours and 20 odd minutes. So guys, I'm going to have to close the net. So let me just take a wee pip. Okay, this is the Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo. It's Graham here in Alloa, Central Scotland. I've been your net control operator for the International Radio Network, along with MM7HQS, Helen, Queen of Scotland, monitoring things from the Royal Box. We've had a wonderful bunch of people checking in today. I've been so privileged, and it's such a pleasure to have a wee QSO with each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And I also want to say thank you to all the people that connected up and maintained all the different nodes, the gateways, repeaters, and everything else that's the networks. They're all connected for today. Really do appreciate that. Without you guys, the net could not happen. So thank you so much. Anyway, that's it, I think, folks. So I just want to wish everybody a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well. And for now, this is Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo. It's Graham here in Scotland. I'll be returning all these various connections, all the different systems back to normal amateur radio use. Take care, everybody. Toodle pip, tatty bye, and we'll see you all again next week. GM0, UUB, off and clear.
See you later.